Hello, chat. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Loot of History. As always, I'm Adam, and we're going to be playing the game that I cannot get away from. I have struggled with this so much every time, and they haven't learned their lesson yet. So, we're back with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, folks. It's going to be a goodie. We're going to be going through the Oskoreia seasonal event and the Tombs of the Fallen, at least part of them. And so to do that, I'm going to have a guest on who we will introduce in just a second. But first off, chat, you have already discovered we have emotes. We have so many emotes. Twitch last week gave us like 10 new emote slots. And so we have our 100% genuine medieval marginalia, but now with animation and increasing amounts of goodness and insanity. So you want that dance sheep, those party hards, big pogs. So much good news. So much good news for us. So that is our big announcement, but make sure you spread the word, because this is going to be a really good stream, and we've got really good streams coming up, so spread the word, get more people on so we can listen, we can get more people on during the stream, and really make this shine. Cool. So without further ado, my guest today is Pablo Gomez de Miranda, a scholar of Old Norse religion from Brazil, who I met during my first master's degree in Iceland. Super cool guy, and really, truly some of the best work on the Wild Hunt I have seen recently. I mean, that was when I first met you, was actually at the Aarhus Student Conference when you gave the talk on that.
Alright.
Yeah, so do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, at first, I need to ask sorry for your audience because my English is a bit rust. I have to talk about your emotes. They are very distracting right now.
They're great.
So, Adam, thank you for having me here. As you said, my name is Pablo Miranda. I'm from Brazil. I have a master's in history and a PhD in religious studies. As you said before, I think we first met at Aarhus conference in Denmark, and I'm very surprised to see you talking about my work on the Wild Hunt. It's a subject that has been around the games these years. Of course, every time I talk about the Wild Hunt, people ask me about The Witcher.
Shocking.
If I ever played The Witcher, because of course, the Wild Hunt. But yeah, let's talk about the Wild Hunt and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I you said that you are a huge fan of Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
See,
aren't you?
Unfortunately, fan and less fan and more professional obligation towards. Because there is a whole lot of things. This game has made so many bizarre choices, and I have been forced to endure all of it because, you know, this is the biggest Viking game that has ever been released. And that includes God of War. Right, God of War came out, and then Assassin's Creed came out and topped it. So we have to do it.
Okay, I mean, God of War was a game that really brought the attention to this, I don't know if, to this whole Viking revival we were living since the History Channel TV series. But what is your opinion about not only the DLC, but what Assassin's Creed Valhalla is doing for public history, and what is the reception for digital humanities and
that is a juicy topic that I'm going to ramble a lot about today. But the short answer is that exactly 50% of the time, it is genuinely brilliant and nuanced and thoughtful, and does things that are great for education, that are really good
Okay.
for us to dig into, that is a really worthwhile project. And the other 50% of the time, it is actively detrimental and buys into all of the worst stereotypes.
Okay.
And so the answer I'm left with
Okay.
how to deal with this is I don't know. I have been playing it for over 200 hours, and I do not know. So,
Okay. Yeah.
before we get into the game proper, though, I have a small tradition, which is
Okay.
inflicting the DLC packs on anyone who comes on. We're not going to do a full review because there is too much, but this is the most recent one that was released. You can buy this for real money and bring it into the game.
Oh boy, are you really spending money
I'm-
on this tradition?
I mean, no, I'm not actually buying them. I'm just showing you the store page and being like, wow, look at how bad it is.
But these oh, holy hell, these are just cosmetics.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, mostly.
This lion.
So some of these actually like are weapons that you can use in the game, but
Okay.
they don't really do a lot. But yeah, we have a steampunk automaton lion, a
Adam,
steel crow.
didn't your MA is from VMN program, isn't?
Yeah. Yep.
So you have to tell me where in the Codex Regius are these whole steampunk theme from? From what poem?
I'm gonna go with it's one of the early modern illuminated Proseda manuscripts. I'm not sure which.
Okay.
I'm not sure which one, but it's definitely in one of those.
Okay.
Actually, funny story. They used SOM 66 in the Irish DLC for the Ulster cycle.
From the Wrath of the Druids.
Yeah.
Isn't? Yeah. Okay. Okay. I watch part of the streaming.
I was very amused when I realized that they used a Proseda manuscript for the Irish stories.
Yeah.
Absolutely wild. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. This is this.
Totally accurate.
Oh,
Totally.
totally. We're secretly playing BioShock today, chat. You got debated.
Yes. Yes.
And then you can have it in silver.
Which come on, it's always the best option.
It's
Silver.
true. Silver looks way better. Oh my.
Yes. God spear.
It has a spinny.
Gods. Yes.
Wild.
Is this canon on the franchise? I need to remind you. I stopped playing Assassin's Creed on Syndicate.
I think
I don't
these
know
are
what's
considered
going on.
non-canon. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I certainly hope these are considered non-canon, because otherwise, I mean, we just have too much to deal with.
Okay.
Way too much to deal with otherwise. So. Oh, that was an autosave. Dang it, I need to load the right file. Oops. Sorry, chat. I loaded the file that already had it all done, rather than the one that actually will let us redo the entire event. So, oops, we will try this again in just a second. In the meantime, though, chat, we're going to set up a poll, because we need to decide what we're going to be wearing today. Fashion creed. So, here's the idea. We got 4 options, just for the themes.
Okay.
We can go as historical as possible.
Okay.
We can go as silly as possible.
Which is the only way possible.
Correct. We could really get into the spirit of the season by being as spooky as possible. Or we could, you know...
That's interesting also.
Or, and hear me out here, we could just be Ezio Auditore and pretend we are playing a better video game.
I I need to see the our options.
Of course.
I mean, I need visuals.
We'll let it run for about 5 minutes here, while I load up the correct things, and then we'll load up the correct save file, and then we will showcase our options. Actually, you know, let's do it before we load up the file. Oh crap! I was about to get stabbed by stuff. But let us stand up here on top of the... No. Please. Please. Perfect. So we can be historical-ish. This is the Discovery Tour armor set, the Alderman set, which Dr. Sue Brunning from the British Museum helped design. We could also, though, go very silly. Something like, say... I don't know... That one. And... No, that one. Go super purple. And that.
What's going on?
And... I don't know. That?
There's a skull. There is a skull.
There is a skull one. That's spooky.
hell.
That is spooky, though.
Okay.
I should probably keep these. No. Druidic bracers. They're just fluff. And then this axe. No, a flail. Perfect.
Gosh.
Something like this for silly.
It looks like the wrong franchise. It's almost like Elder Scrolls.
It's exactly what it looks like. We could go spooky.
Okay.
Which would be perhaps the Holy Folk armor and a scythe.
On what this is related to Huldufolk?
I don't know. If I had the answer, I would tell you, but I don't, so I won't. More of those, and the sarcophagus shield, because that has skulls on it, and therefore that's spooky. Spooky.
Okay.
Or
I think that we already have a champion. Sorry.
Oh dear. Are the results fairly biased?
This is Ezio outfit.
Exactly. We could just be Ezio.
Okay.
Perfect. Nailed it. Look at how cool we are.
Yes. I can. Oh boy, this brings me memories from Assassin's Creed 2 and the whatever. No, let's go spooky, please.
Well,
I really think we should go spooky.
That seems to be chat's consensus too. So we're gonna load up the correct save. This one.
Okay.
And then we will get our spookiness. Remember, chat? Get your votes in. If you want Ezio to secretly win out the day. There still is time. And bits. You can cast extra votes via bits. Or you could just go spooky and inflict more skull face on us. It's fine.
Look, there's a skull. I think I saw skulls also on the shield.
Yes.
Perfect.
Lady Skullface makes her return. Sorry. Through the entire Siege of Paris stream, we were wearing a Christian cloak with a skull face.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it's the only way possible again.
Exactly.
It was probably described on a Frankish annal or something.
Almost certainly. Nero, are the archery targets what you're worried about right now? Really, Nero? Honestly.
What's going on here? Is this already content from DLC content?
Yes, this is the introductory cutscene to the Oskoreia
Okay.
seasonal event.
Okay.
It's Walden, I tell you.
Ah, all right.
Don't be
Yes.
thick, Braun. Everyone knows Odin leads the wild hunt. Eivor!
I
Who
disagree.
leads the wild hunt?
Odin. Why?
I was explaining to him the way of Oskoreia. This one wants to turn it into
See,
a pageant.
Johnny, you say you actually like this convo.
Not a
I hate it.
pageant, A parade.
And I'll explain why.
Some of us could dress up like gods from both lands. Maybe you could lead it, Eivor.
Oskoreia isn't a celebration. It's when the veil between the worlds grows thin, and the dead will haunt us if we don't honor them.
Ooh, spooky.
And they say the gods come to Midgard to hunt. Not just beasts, but men also. It wouldn't be wise to draw their attention.
You are wise to be wary of the god's wrath, Dame. But it's not by hiding that you'll evade the wild
I would like to
hunt.
point out that this guy is named Monk.
I told you not to.
It's
pester
his
the
name.
locals, Uncle.
Like in the
You've been in the
credits,
herds again.
he's credited as
Patronize
Monk.
Me, you little
Mad Monk, yes.
You will call
Yep,
me
not-
Grandma Maxwell like everyone else.
No one calls you that.
I've seen you around planting your smoking pots everywhere. The whole village smells like a seer's hut.
Those pots are placed where the fabric of the veil
Oh
is
god, there is
weakest,
so much
letting us
things
perceive
going on this
unseen
game.
threats
It is.
before they are upon us.
What's going on with the whole smoke?
I'm sorry,
And
Eivor.
herbs
He shows up
and-
like this without warning.
Uh,
I told him he could stay with
Okay.
me while he's here.
I think there is at least one
Rites of
thing
hospitality.
that
And we
is
should
that
mark
this
the wild
DLC
in
is
some way.
playing very
It's a
well,
source of fear for people of
and
both faiths.
so you have
And
this
how
whole
do you think we
discussion
should
and
mark Oskoreia, Eivor?
what the
With
Oskoreia
tests of
is.
skill and strength.
If it's
Like
like
Tyr's
a
archery range.
festival of
Show the hunt,
people
they'll find no
dressing
easy prey here.
themselves,
Swindle
like,
setting up another
we
event
have
since
on
the last
Halloween,
tournament
for
was so
example.
successful.
and
Good.
then you have
Solo will
this
use
other
it, not to
character
celebrate,
saying, no,
but to prepare for the wild
Oskoreia
hunt."
is
Tell her
when the
yourself.
veil
You're the
between
one
the
leading
worlds
this
are weakened
preparation.
and you have the gods
Me,
hunting.
I didn't.
yep.
And be sure to visit
I
Gudrun's
mean-
homage to the dead. Or didn't you
At
notice
some
the ship in the
point,
middle of the
this is
settlement?
of course both,
I noticed the ship.
and all these elements
Odin's
they are
wisdom
bringing
guide you.
to the game. They are from
So no parade.
they are from the 19th
I
century,
have a
so
better job
not
for you, Braun.
not
You be the judge of
medieval
whose
at all.
actions will impress the gods.
Not even slightly.
You'll be the keeper of
Yeah,
the
no,
tokens.
the not
I will
only
be
the
best
the
judge you
Norwegian
have ever seen, Eivor.
Go see Morgan about
artists,
the tokens.
and of
Tell him I
course
sent
the
you, and I'll come
aristocracy,
find you later.
but the Swedish and the Danish
My herbs,
also,
let us see the
they
invisible.
produced this
But it's you,
this
as
idea
leader,
of
who must
the
cross the veil and discover the
Asgardian
mysteries of the
hunting.
nether realm.
Oh
And
dear.
again, this is
I
from the
never said I
19th
was
century.
leading.
You have a lot of folk material
Maybe
from
I
this
should have
time
let Braun have his
of
parade.
people talking about how when around Christmas you can't whistle at night, fearing that Yolen ride. So that comes the name Yolarida, Yolarrider comes from. You can whistle because this god or spirit or whatever is coming at night with his dogs and his riders. Is it Odin? It could be, because at some point Odin is a bunch of different things. This also comes from the inquisitorial material. We have a bunch of curious cases from not only Scandinavia but also the Baltic regions, where all these kinds of gods, old gods and spirits are still present in the people's everyday life. But again, we don't have Odin as a leader of the wild hunt or wild ride during the Middle Ages.
Yo.
At least I mean we have some clues, And I think that the first thing we need to point here is that the whole wild hunt as something not only from the Germanic areas, but almost from the entire Europe. It comes from Jakob Grimm, Deutsche mythology. He was really the guy who designed, of course, not only the Wild Hunt, but a bunch of folk motifs that we're still dealing today. My former advisor in Iceland used to say that it's impossible to write something folkloristics without talking about Jakob Grimm, and I think it's totally true. But what Jakob Grimm did was, I think it was more related to, he got the name of these gods and he said, look, it could be like this, it could be like that. And of course the Romanticism movement in Northern Europe produced their own images and representations of the Oskoreia. I think that almost everybody already saw Peter Arbor's painting called Osgod's Reien, or The Wild Hunt of Odin. I don't know why they translated as The Wild Hunt of Odin. Odin isn't in the painting, but
Wild.
Yeah.
You'll need to do some fine
Anyway,
deed
for
before
those who
helping
don't know
yourself to those
though,
monsters.
I was testing your vigilance, Braun.
do you want to introduce what Oskoreia is?
Okay, so what is Oskoreia? There is two ways that we can talk about this. One, it's very simple, of course, and the other is a bit more complex. So let's focus on a simple way to talk about it. Oskoreia it's not a festival. Oskoreia was some kind of a meeting. We have a very famous ballad, but again, this was recorded on the 19th century and in a very weird Norwegian. I think while I was in Iceland, I had the help of a very competent archaeology called Glyph.
Oh yeah,
Glyph. Yes.
I love
Yes.
Liv.
Okay. Look, yeah. Okay. So you know her. So Liv helping me a bit, and of course Terry Gunnell was the person who presented me this material. You have this very popular character from Norwegian ballads called Sigurd the Young. It could be our famous Sigurd from the Volsunga saga, Sigurdur, of course. But this guy was named Sigurd the Young, and he had a horse called Grani, and his horse one day missed one of his horseshoes, and he goes inside the woods, and Sigurd the Young goes after him, and he meets the Oskoreia. So we don't know what Oskoreia means. It could be, of course, this is speculation only. It could be Oskoreid, raid from Rida, from pride, but Oskur, we have a bunch of people saying that it could be Osgord. But we are not entirely sure. So we have this female, this supernatural female figure called Guru Riserova. And people say that Riserova is horsetail. It could be, the horsetail could be related to another category of supernatural female figures like the Huldur, the Huldre, the Huldra, which is like how can I say that? It's like folklore figures of women with horse tails. I don't have a better way to put this. And this guru, of course, some folklorists say that it could be Gudrun.
Of course.
So we have Sigurd and Gudrun.
They do love trying to find those patterns.
Yes, they do. We have a very comprehensive study on the wild hunt. I mean, right now it's a bit outdated, but it's I always say that people should read this book. It's called Phantom Armies of the Night. I have here on my bookshelf. Phantom Armies of the Night from Claude Lecoute, and he tries to find this pattern, but he's not going too deep. I think that the most deep investigation we have here is from Christine Eike, but it's in Norwegian. So if some of you guys fancy on read Norwegian, you can always go after this work. It's called Oskoreia og Ekstaserite. So Oskoreia and the rites of ecstasy, I think, from
Sira,
Christine
we
Eike.
need an archery
But
challenge to
Oskoreia is
test our
this is the
skills.
meeting
This range
with
takes 100 cents.
supernatural riders.
In this
Seems straight.
there's also a
In this
time-
case, we have, of
Hand me
course,
a bow.
probably Gudrun, a horse-tailed Gudrun. But this ballad doesn't say much about what's going on. She says to Sigurd, "Oh, you can go to heaven, or you can go with me to ride forever in the Oskoreia." And the ballad, this is a ballad, of course. It's like it's to be singed. And it ends with Sigurd accepting Gudrun offer to go to Oskoreia or into Oskoreia with her. But this doesn't talk much about the nature of Oskoreia, or if there was a religious role on, I don't know, at the end of the year and the winter nights. But yeah, it's a very tricky subject, to be fair, because we don't have much other accounts of the Oskoreia, but at the same time, the 19th century turned the topic into a very powerful artistic motive, not only in painting but in music and poetry, of course. And the long answer, I think we can talk about it while we play the game, if you want.
Absolutely.
But in essence is just this meeting with supernatural riders.
And those riders, I mean, Oskoreia never actually says that those riders are the Wild Hunt, right?
No.
It just implies
it's yeah, I mean, it's the name. It's not Wild Hunt or Wild Ride, but we call them such as because it's more practical, I think. Because as we don't have many materials in Scandinavia, we need to bring this material from elsewhere. So if I call everything as Wild Hunt, it helps me to find a pattern at least.
Indeed. Because, yeah, I think, if I remember right, the Wild Hunt is actually, like, the oldest text that describes it is from France, isn't it?
Oh boy. It gets tricky.
Fair enough.
Because I for my thesis at least, I think that the most comprehensive.
Good to see you.
How can I say that?
Some of our people are anxious about the wild hunt. I want to raise their courage.
We
through
have a bunch of
concepts skill and
things
bravery.
during the 12th century
I
and
want to
the
recreate the chaos
13th
of
century.
battle. Our warriors
It
will fight within
depends
the
on
fog
what do
of
you
war.
think that
You
the
mean the
wild
smoke?
hunt is.
Did a monk bring
Because
those braziers?
Yes.
Augustine,
he said something
it's
about a
Augustine of
veil I did
Hippo
not
in
understand,
English.
but I find
Yep.
they add to the
Augustine
experience in
of
surprising
Hippo.
ways.
Yeah, also, okay.
How do you mean?
So,
I don't want to
Augustine
spoil
of
it for you.
Hippo
Besides,
says
it
something
affects
about
everyone differently.
the
Would you like to
ghostly
give it a try?
armies of the Romans fighting in front of some cities. And of course, you have even, I think in English his name is Herodotus.
Yep.
Okay, so you have accounts from Herodotus saying that to fight like ghosts are actually a valid strategy. And some people fought like ghosts before. And of course, we have Tacitus' account of the Germans fighting like the ghosts also.
Okay.
Like painting the bodies in black and howling to make their enemies afraid. But we have to separate what is folk belief, what is religious material, and what is like just a way to fight.
Exactly.
You know, like-
That sounds to me so much like it's just guerrilla warfare.
Yes.
I'll give it a try.
Yes, it could be. It could be, but at the same time, it's always difficult to separate the actions of these people. And when I say these people, I'm not saying the Greeks or the Germans. I'm saying the men and women from the ancient world and medieval world. What is and what is not religious. It's very difficult actually. What I could say to you, it's that. Let me check here. We have some accounts of celestial armies, but when I say celestial, I'm not saying heavenly. I'm not saying like Christian. From the 6th century.
Huh.
And of course, I have here page 120. Sorry. Let me check here. Paul Deacon.
Oh,
We
Paul the
have
Deacon.
an account
Perfect.
from Paul the Deacon. Yes, Paul the Deacon, and you have this belief that when after the passage of armies or after great battles, you have accounts of people going into famine, and of course the disease and pestilence. I think that the passage from Paul Deacon is about pest. He's talking about a village where everybody died, and suddenly you can hear the trumpets of an army.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, nobody sees anything, and
course.
he's talking like this passage of a ghostly procession or a ghostly army, and the people hear about the trumpets. You know, there is this noise, there is the passage, there is like you can hear the passing of an army, but that's it. It's actually someone called Ordericus Vitalis, and from
of course it's
Normandy.
Vitalis. Yep.
From Normandy, and he is the guy who is going to talk about the passage of the wild hunt. And when I say wild hunt, he of course he do not call wild hunt. He calls something like furious army.
Of course.
And this is very curious because he's not creating, but what he's saying here is like there is something like a different. How can I say that? When you die, you don't go to hell
Yeah,
or
it's different
heaven
afterlife?
necessarily.
Like a different afterlife?
Like, no, it's like the fact that the medieval chroniclers or medieval writers created what we call sorry, the name in English it's running from me. It's the place where you don't go.
I won.
Because
Well
hell, of
done.
course, you
But I
can't
think I'll
escape
make
from
it more
hell. If you go to
challenging.
hell, you go
Come
to
back
hell, and
when
that's
you're ready
it.
for
Do you mean
another
purgatory?
round.
Purgatory. Thank you. So what Orderikus Vitalis was saying was, look, here you can see the tomb of all these dead people, and because he was in Normandy, he was talking about
Hello, Swinda.
all the
Welcome back,
people
Eivor.
there
Do
who
you want to
fought,
fight?
all the people who die in war, and
Let's
he was
fight.
saying, look,
Good.
we have
Choose
all
your
these
beer.
men from nobility who died on war, and although they die on war, they die committing violence, they also had previous sins. Some of these knights who he sees during the passage of the Wild Ride of the Furious Army, one of these guys committed adultery. So while he was in the Wild
Challenge
Ride,
me.
while
That gear has
he
limited
was
room for rations.
riding with
Make
the
it
dead,
count.
he was also being punished
Uh-huh.
for his sins. But he asks, actually, for the priest who was watching the passage of the Wild Ride, if he could make like a mass in his name, or if he could ask for his family to ask for his name in their prayers, so his soul could be saved. So what you have here is a medieval writer, a priest, a monk. I think Ordericus Vitalis was a monk.
I think so.
Yes, and he was actually not only playing with this whole purgatory stuff, but he was also probably playing with folk belief from his time, you know. So when he said something about the Furious Army, some people could also know one thing or two about the Furious Army.
That
But
seems
he
legit to me.
he wasn't the only one in the 12th century who talked about the Furious Army. Of course, he was the first, but a few years later we have another account and other account, and the thing is growing and growing. And the 13th century, this explodes. Like we have the passage of the Wild Ride in songs from Germany, of what is of course now Germany. We have songs from Spain. We have lots of material from Iberia, from Portugal and Spain, from the 13th century.
Ooh.
And of course, we have Old Norse material.
Yeah.
Not as colorful as Ordericus Vitalis account, but yeah, we have lots of stuff.
Yep, but I think it's really interesting, you know, that is all clearly high medieval and therefore presumably congruous with Christianity material.
Yes, definitely. And that's why some intellectuals from the past century try very hard to find something from the Wild Ride in Old Norse material. Because actually the historiography from the past century,
Oh god.
at least
Oh
from
no.
the first the first, how can I say that, the first decades of the past century, they really thought that the Old Norse material were not Christian related at all.
I forgot about that. I blocked that from my
Yeah.
memory. But you're...
So
Of course they would have.
they were like, if we find something in Old Norse, it's because it's really, really non-Christian. And actually, the only passages we have of something related to Wild Hunt is from the 14th century.
Which saga?
It's not a saga, it's a author. It's the... Of course. Actually, I'm lying. It's... We have the Helgi Hundingsbane ballads
Oh.
from the Codex Regius, of
Okay.
course.
They're
Yeah,
treating Holly Hundingsbane.
Yes,
Wild
yes.
Hunt.
The
Okay.
second poem. The second poem. The last part when I think his burial mound open and his wife sees him like all bloodied, and then
Okay.
he drinks some mead with her, and then he goes woof, like to the skies with like the other warriors from Valhalla. So yeah, but it's like flimsy, very flimsy.
Yeah.
Clue about the Wild Ride, because it's the only passage we have, and on the next century, the next, can I say that this ballad is from the 13th century
Yeah, that...
or no?
I mean,
Because the manuscript, of course, it's from the 1200, I think.
yeah. Because
The
it's...
Codex Regius.
Yeah, it's 1270s.
Yes, okay. So we have Eyrbyggja Saga, which I find the dating of Eyrbyggja Saga a bit hard. I
Agreed.
don't know your opinion.
I
What?
think it's fairly late, but that's not based on
Yes.
much of anything.
But it's amazing. The account from Eyrbyggja Saga, it's one of my favorites. Because you have this whole bunch of dead people coming from,
Wait.
of course, dead people coming from the dead, of course.
Wait,
You have a host of ghosts.
are they treating the Sue Your Ghosts as Wild Hunt? I would not
at least I treat it. I
Huh.
treat it.
I would not
because-
have read it as a Wild Hunt reference.
Because what you have is they are coming from outside, and they are coming from outside inside the house, and every time you have this I don't remember if it's at the end of the year that this happens.
I think it is.
you
I
have-
think it's around Christmas.
Okay, so why I'm not surprised? Of course, it's around Christmas.
It's always around
Everything
Christmas.
weird, yes, everything weird happens around Christmas. But what you have actually is some people are known.
Yo.
Some people. And of course, one of the way to deal with the dead in Icelandic sagas is actually prosecuting them. You have like a judicial duel with them. The protagonists have the help of, I think, a priest, a Christian priest,
Yeah.
who brings holy water and all these things.
And
But
then
actually,
Snorri Goði.
what banished the
Well
ghosts
done.
is the laws, the Icelandic laws.
Yes.
Or the knowledge about the Icelandic laws.
I love that whole sequence. Like Eyrbyggja,
Yes.
I mean Eyrbyggja is my favorite of the Icelandic sagas because it's so weird.
It's one of my favorites, for sure. And of course, you have the whole Froda wonders happening And one of the things that happens in Froda is the appearance of it's so weird. It's the head of a seal.
Oh yeah.
And the tail of an ox. It's an oxen tail, but with fur of a seal. It's crazy. It's crazy. But you can start seeing a pattern
Hello,
here,
Ake.
like a
Didn't know you were
female
fond of horses.
figure.
I'd rather
Because
deal with a
it's
horse
when
than an
this
ass.
seal
I'm not here to trade
appears
barbs, Ake.
that the dad
Come to see what
starts
you're
to coming
preparing.
back.
A challenge, Eivor.
And it's only
true
when
test of
this
equestrian
this
skill.
whole thing
There'll be
is
barriers to break,
with the
targets to
seal
hit,
women it's
and a time limit.
resolved that
I
the
thought you
thing
said it would be a
stops.
challenge.
And on the
It
next
will require
century
equal
you
measures
have
of
the
skill, speed,
one
and
one
control.
factor
You
about
think
the
you have what it
disease.
takes?
Sure, yeah.
Give me a moment.
Yes, and yeah, actually, this author, I think it's on Flateyar book.
I think so, yeah, that sounds right.
Yes, it's one of the few narratives that we have about the Dizir coming during Christmas, and you have the black Dizir and the white Dizir, and this opposition about black and white Dizir it's not old.
It's not at all old.
No. We have actually, I think it's from Canerva, a researcher called Canerva about this opposition of black and white, and it's probably important from mainland Europe. But this thing about the 12 Dizir coming from outside, this could be old actually. This whole thing about spirits coming from the mountains and coming from the woods or coming from something that it's on the wild. You know, that's something that it's not my space. Something that it's not like my farm. It's and the Iceland, of course, farm is something very important in spatial matters.
Of course.
But yeah, we have at least these clues.
Okay. But yeah, I guess the corollary thought there, though, is that it's super weird to me, or it's not all surprising, but it is still interesting to me about how this game is then like, oh no, like this is clearly some ancient thing. Right? All the evidence is, even by the standards of what the game is using, yuck. Right? Because the game loves its unitary mythologies, very Snorri influenced.
Yes.
But a lot of this stuff is 100+ years younger than Snorri.
I mean, they don't have much material, I think. The producers had access to a lot of people, like good researchers.
Some really
I know
good
some of
researchers.
the names at least.
Yeah.
Of the people that they acted
Why
as
so quiet,
consultants.
Ake? Where is the lash up your
But
wit now?
I am silenced by your show of skill.
to be fair,
You may
to be
claim
fair,
the
and
full
this is my
prize.
opinion, the game is using at least some works that turn the Oskoreia and the Wild Hunt as a kind of end of the year, right? Very popular, and I don't think they are good works. I mean, they are the kind of works that it was actually commissioned for from the Ananarbe. You know the
Good day
Ananarbe?
to you all, Win.
No.
Good day, Eivor.
Uh,
I hear you've taken
everybody
charge of the fall
who
festival.
reads or watch
look
the
forward to,
Hellboy movies
Oh,
again?
okay.
must know
Oskoreia.
the Ananarbe.
I wouldn't say I'm in
I also
charge,
don't
I
know
just
if I'm
talk to people.
saying correctly, but it was
Oh, don't be so modest.
it was an
I'm sure
institution,
you're playing a greater
a
role
Nazi
than you realize.
institution that
by the way,
paid
you want to keep a
researchers
close
to
eye on
conduct
Braun's
research
uncle.
on
He's
Oh,
been
yes.
Germanic,
human
old
bones
Germanic
everywhere.
history
I know. He's a
for the
strange one.
Germanic
He may
people.
even be mad.
Yes, I do
And
know what
we
you're talking
have-
about. I just didn't remember the name.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
not
okay.
suggesting any
Sorry.
malicious intent,
It's
but
again, I don't know if I'm
once
speaking
burned down a
Ananarbe
church.
or it's
Rather
Ananarbe.
accidentally,
Yeah,
Sorry.
of course.
But
And a short
we
while
have this
ago, I saw him
very
heading towards the
influential
edge of the
book
forest with an
from
armload of kindling.
from a researcher
He'll
called
set the
Otto
forest
Hofler.
ablaze. Where can I find
And
him?
his
Or
book
the
was
smoke.
about the secret rights of the old Germans.
Oh no.
And he dealt a lot about the wild hunt. And for him, the wild hunt, and this is the point. For him, the wild hunt actually was some kind of a passage right.
Huh.
You have all these bands of young people, and these young people were disguising and they were going into the houses to steal food and to steal beer and to make other people's houses a mess. And of course, this reminds us again. Oh boy, he's riding a bear.
I am riding a bear. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it.
Okay. So, what he's saying is this whole thing about people dressing as monsters and breaking inside people's houses and playing pranks. This is old. He's saying this.
Uh-huh.
And of course, this was very important for the rural life from the 19th century and the 18th century. There is some very good historians like Carlo Ginzburg is an Italian, and you have
If your thoughts grow cloudy,
you have a book called Shaman of Obsterdorf. Again, I think I'm murdering German here. It's from Wolfgang Behringer.
Oh,
It's mostly books about the early modern inquisitorial process.
I think
all
I
this-
know which
all
book
this-
you're talking about. Beringer
Okay.
has a really good book on like early modern witchcraft.
Yes. And of course, I think a bunch of people knows Ronald Hutton. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, okay. So these guys actually they have material of people saying that they go into ecstasy and that they travel at night as spirits and they turn themselves into wolves and bears and werewolves. And of course, writers like and researchers like Otto Hofler, which was dwelling over this material. He says, look, we have this material from the 16th century, the 17th century. Maybe all these accounts about the Berserkir and Ulfhednar, they could be on the same folk motive. And of course, he actually was writing his book for the Ananurbe, and Ananurbe was trying to use this work for his own institutions, like like how the SS, they should stuff it.
Yeah.
You know, we have these young people and they are brave and they are going to adulthood now like the old Germans. They will fight like the old Germans. You know, so this is a way of weaponize the past.
It is. And actually,
But
in chat,
yeah.
Emmett222 is actually working on, has recently been working on their one of their thesis chapters on the Fianna, on exactly the same thing, of the same Mannerbunde.
Yeah, the Mannerbunde. Thank you. Yes. here my proposition on to Leeds is about this specific work and the how it portrays the Wild Hunt as something weaponized
Beautiful.
for the Wehrmacht. But what I want to say is this book came out in 1930 something, 1920 something, and the idea of the Wild Hunt as something for the young and something as a ritual for the young going into adulthood stayed. And it's difficult now to criticize, to put this into scrutiny. You understand what I'm saying? And
yes.
I think this and I think this is, I mean, we have to tread with caution here, because actually we have amazing work from different researchers about the mumming traditions in Scandinavia.
Huh.
I have the book here. It's huge, and
Beautiful.
it's, of course, it's free. It's free on internet. It's you have the mumming traditions in the Atlantic Isles, the British Isles. You have in the Faroe Island, in the, of course, Iceland and Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and Karelia. It's huge. It's huge, and in all of these areas, the mumming tradition, of course, it happens at the end of the year, and it's an important thing because it serves like a social glue. You know, the entire community is playing, and the people is dressing like the winter the Julebok, the goat of Yule. You know, and they are going into the farms and they are playing. But writers like Otto Hoffler, he's saying, look, this he uses a very heavy term, a derogatory term. He says something like this is something crooked. It's something like a decline. It's
A classic.
a corruption form of something that it was so noble. Like, it's decay. And it's not. All these things are like, you know, when you study anything folklore related, there isn't like a decline of something or a decay of something. Like, these are organic processes. And yeah, I think that although we have a very curious DLC for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, it stays on a very problematic way of portraying the Wild Hunt.
Let's see if we can get even more problematic. Because the reason I've been sitting on pause here is because this cutscene is where we properly get our narrative explanation of random smoke.
Look deeper within and seek clarity through your inner eye.
I didn't think I spoke those thoughts aloud.
I know what it's like to stand on the threshold of another world.
I think you grow drunk on your own fumes.
Do you think it mere chance that brought you here?
No. No, Nir. Leave little to chance.
Then open your mind to the worlds beyond our own. As the veil that hides them.
You better get your knives ready, because we are...
What would you have me see?
We're going to need to do some murder.
My desires, but yours. What do you seek?
I seek to protect my people from the Wild Hunt.
You'll need to cross the veil, face your greatest fear, meet your own worst enemy.
We got
fear.
Big drug energy right now.
Herb-induced visions to terrify me.
Okay.
Poof! Spook! He disappeared. We're all spooked now. Get ready.
He really disappeared?
Yeah.
Or is it glitch from the game?
No, it's not a glitch. He He is supposed to have vanished.
Okay.
Have I crossed the veil? This place is unsettling.
Oh.
Not terrifying.
Unsettling but not terrifying. Okay.
The spirits of the dead. The Skjotve wander this netherworld.
We know it's a spooky otherworld because it's in grayscale.
Yes, that's fair.
Bot Master, what on earth are we wearing? Chat voted on wearing a spooky outfit for today because we are in the Wild Hunt seasonal event, and clearly that means we should be spooky. So we are wearing spooky. And yes, it is a human skull as a face that we are supposedly looking through. Flawless. Also, I do need to shout out, the fact that the little holders on the pot actually create the effect of that these skulls have horns.
Don't they? Oh, these are holders.
Yeah, that's what it looks like that's what they're supposed to be, but because it clips through the model, they're just horns.
Okay, yeah. It really looks like horns.
Yeah, look, see, it's a punctured up through and then a grip.
Ah, okay, yeah, I can see that. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, the effect is deliberate, right? Those are just horned skulls, because they can.
Yeah.
Also, we've got triathlons, but spooky. Neolithic structures, but spooky.
Yes, it's supposed to some kind emulate megalithics of some sort. Okay.
There is a force here, invisible.
All right.
Also,
oh no, Galdrastafir!
Galdrastafir!
Oh boy! Of course, why am I not surprised? Is this popular around the game?
Oh yes, all over the place.
Oh, okay.
But what's weird about this one is that I don't think it's actually a real Galdrastaf. Right? Because it's not an Ægishjálmur, which is what we usually use.
A rune of power.
I mean,
maybe that monk wasn't so mad after all.
They could produce their own Galdrastafir. I won't be surprised.
Stand aside.
Yeah? But right, I was trying to look through the lists of them, and the two it's most similar to are the Ægishjálmur and the Veivisir. But it's not actually either of them, because it's got circles instead of crossbars. Hey, burn to death. Burn to death. Nailed it.
It's true. We can be our own worst enemy.
So,
I feel no joy at having vanquished it.
Who are you fighting against?
Our ghost version of ourselves.
Okay. So,
video games.
How is this Wild Hunt related?
Literally no clue.
Okay.
If I knew, I would tell you, but yeah, I don't. I think we just did a video games.
I mean, the notion of violent people or people who died violently going inside or taking part of the Wild Hunt or the Wild Ride of the Furious Army, it's old. Of course, maybe this DLC will talk about it somehow.
We won't not talk about it, but we also won't talk about it. It's complicated.
Okay.
Anyway, this is what they think poetry sounds like.
It's
not even good English poetry.
Yes.
Also, I don't know where they wrote it because it's not. Those are not words. Anyway, Galdrastafir exist, and this is not the only early modern thing we are going to see today, because they They actually use the Odin's Illusory rune, which I know is from a 16th century manuscript.
Yes.
Yes. We'll see it a little bit later. So, basically,
they talk about Odin, and the very first like solid clue we have about Odin as the leader of the wild ride, or the wild hunter. It's from the 16th century.
Yep.
Also. So before that, we have one incantation from a Bavarian codex that maybe is related to Wotan.
wild.
But maybe because it's in a poor state, and it says like Wotanes.
Oof. Yeah, that's
It could
iffy.
be. It could be just the wind, like a strong wind and gale.
Such a deed must be a reward.
Because it's something
tokens
related
from the basket.
to the wild hunt. Like the skies grow dark, and the winds is howling, the dogs are barking, and all this stuff it's going on during the passage of the wild hunt. But
Yo. And yeah, right, that... I didn't think we had any Old High German texts, like apart from the Merseburg charms, that actually talked about pre-Christian beings, so... I mean, it would be cool if it is, but yeah, that sounds iffy. By the way, anyone want to take bet?
in High German, you say?
Yeah, we got those two Merseburg charms.
Of course.
But I wasn't
And,
aware of any other ones.
Okay. I don't know if you noticed, but the Merseburg charms were published by Jakob Grimm.
Oh, of course they were.
So he
Shocking.
was really into digging into this material.
Shocking. By the way, anyone want to take bets as to why the fire is blue, chat? Because I don't. We have blue fire. Also, a giant ship. And I do not know why we have a giant ship.
And they explain to the player why this ship is
You
on
do
the,
enjoy building your ships,
like,
Gudmund,
the middle of
even
the
if
village.
they're not going anywhere.
No, I think we're going to do like a pyre for it eventually, but probably
I
not.
see people have been carving the names of the dead onto the hull. Haig, Asa.
That pronunciation though. Haig
Is a name
Aslog.
I've heard since my youth. I lost many that evening.
Haka
Oh, boy.
and Auslög, by the way, chat.
Sven, a big man with a fine touch. He left his mark on many of us.
But yeah, it's a genetic ship of the dead with
A fighter until the end.
ghosts?
I wouldn't
Question
call him
mark?
a good man, but his bravery could not be denied.
And they are actually using one good thing I'll give them here. They're using younger Futhark for these, which would be
Okay.
correct.
She traded her life
Yes.
for a child. I will make sure it was worth it.
I think they're using mostly.
Varin, he gave his life to the Raven.
Huh. There's one word in there, right in the dead center of the screen, actually has some Old English runes.
The old father
So,
to judge.
eh. Spooky.
Do you think? Yeah. Do you think this is still somehow
Strange.
accurate?
No.
This name is known
I
as
don't
one
know
word.
almost to I know almost to
name
zero
I know.
about runes. So.
Oh, I know
Desmond,
almost as little.
You know someone named Cal.
Ah, okay.
Runology is the one part
the
of
one name
like
not
the field
carved
that I
into the
do
wood,
not touch.
Only scribbled in charcoal. Did you see who wrote it?
Maybe. Someone I didn't
Anyway,
know.
I see we're getting some lag chat, so let me know if it's like unwatchably bad and we
Like he
can
was on his last
try and
legs.
fix settings.
Didn't see his face.
And you didn't speak to him.
He didn't speak to me. He went that way, if you're interested.
I don't like unanswered questions so close to home.
So, we are going to go find a dead man.
If the stranger was lame, he could never.
Oh, so you were talking about High German.
I mean, I think the Merseburg terms are in Old High German, aren't they?
Yes, Altnorddeutsch.
Okay,
I think.
good.
Yes, But we actually have material. I don't know in what German is this from the 13th century.
I mean, it could be old, presumably old high or old low.
Okay,
but I'm not sure.
We have mentions to the Wild Hunt in different poems,
Cool.
and we know the name of these poets. I mean,
Cool.
we don't know a lot about them. We know them, you know, like we know the names of these guys, like Moritz von Kaun, Caldergrossa, and like they talk about the Wild Hunt, which says that the Wild Hunt was becoming popular as a representation or representation of the devil, or representation of war, or representation of violence, but not necessarily a representation of the Wild Hunt per se. Like, we don't have much information about it.
This may be the end.
Which is curious from the perspective of reception, because maybe the people who were listening to these poems knew a lot about the subject. But yeah, it's lost now.
I alone
Sure. Well, of course, if they know it so well that they can just reference it and know the audience gets it, well, then they have no reason to explain.
Yes.
Which is a problem for us.
Yes.
Well, in that same vein of, right, these rides being demonic allegories, I've heard people trying to argue that, like, the Havning of it is a reflex of the Wild Hunt, and that, like, Circlethouter would then be a related text.
Yes, this is a very good point, and the Hjadningavik, it's about the, how can I say, it's like an eternal struggle, eternal strife, eternal battle between two sides, and people die and then they come back, and they die and they come back, but we have this fragment, and we don't have much else, you know. So it's one of these things that when we are doing research we get very happy that we see this, we can read about this, but we don't have much information about the what's going on.
Of course.
And the fact that it is late, the fact that we don't have parallels from older manuscripts, it doesn't help at all.
Of course.
It could be just a representation of the Einherjar.
I mean,
we don't know.
I think that's more likely, yeah. Because Ragnar's Draupa is such a weird poem to deal with. But I agree, right? I think, given how much everything else for the Wild Hunt is so late, that reading Hjevin and Hogni as being Einherjar instead of being, you know, governed by Hildur.
It could be what the late audiences know about the Einherjar. You know, like the same thing, the same figures, they started to be they started to transform into other stuff because you have different audiences listening about them. And we don't have a very cohesive picture about it.
What do we have a cohesive picture about?
Yeah. Fair.
I mean, if Terry and John have proven anything in the last 15 years, is that we know nothing.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, the problem with it's when I started my research,
From this spot,
I think that the fulcral point was the Einherjar, because of course you have this band of dead warriors riding. But as my research developed, one of the most important thing about the Wild Hunt is the interaction with the living beings, with humans.
Yo.
And the Wild Hunt, or not the Wild Hunt, sorry, the Einherjar only gets out once, and it is to battle at Ragnarok.
Yo.
Ragnarok.
And I mean, there's not exactly a lot of humans left at that point.
Yes, but I mean, it's the only time they go out and they don't interact with anyone. They just go to the battle.
And then they all die. Again.
That's yeah, again. And that's why Helgi, the second ballad of Helgi Hungisbani, it's so precious, because I don't remember who was the wife of Helgi. It was
Sigrun?
Sigrun. Yes. Sigrun asks if they are marching to the Ragnarok or Ragnarok. I mean, there is a mention of the Ragnarok because of it, because they appear and she sees them. But of course, she's a Valkyrie. No, not a Valkyrie. They call her South Dis.
Yo.
So she's not a common woman. She's not a normal human being. She's one of the supernatural female figures that we know so little.
Yo. Eddic poetry is so full of those. Because, right, I mean, I also don't like the interpretation of the Swan Maidens from Völunnarkviða as being Valkyriur.
Yeah, why not?
Well, because there's so little else that like associates bird cloaks with the Valkyriur. I mean, there's far stronger associations with Freya, therefore, with the Disir.
Yes. Yes.
And I think there's very little to connect the Valkyriur and the Disir into the same entity.
There is a fair argument from I think it's Luke Murphy.
Oh, did he argue on this?
Oh,
what?
What happened?
What? Oh, I just didn't know he had written on this.
Who?
What? Luke Murphy?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just.
What's about?
I didn't know that he had written on the topic.
No, his MA thesis was about the Valkyries, and it's a good thesis.
I mean,
very good.
Everything Luke has written was good.
Great.
Okay, I just read his MA thesis, and it's solid, very good.
Yeah, Luke actually did some consulting work for when I was getting ready for the Discovery Tour stream. I asked him a couple questions to just run some things by him.
Yeah, I think he have a fair point when he argues that the audience could know that all these flying female figures could be somehow related. Not because they are patterns, but because they are commonly used. They occupy the same locus on Old Norse poetry. Of course, I think this is his idea. I remember he wrote something, but it's on these lines, like all these female figures could be used in the same way, or the audience could interpret the same way. Like today we have the privilege, of course, of reading different sources from different regions.
Sure.
Probably. But yourself in the perspective of a 13th century Icelander who was like in the cold winter, hearing about these supernatural female riders. They could think that the Dizir and the Valkyries are the same. In a way that maybe someone from centuries earlier or before didn't see the same way.
Okay, then, no. There we go. Hello, cat.
Of course.
No. Yeah, I mean,
and of course, we have Ian Devry words on the same topic.
Yo, oh dear. I'm glad that we're finally getting around to like redoing most of the things he talked about. Not all, and unfortunately, right, the game still cites him. Right,
Oh, wait. There is someone playing a lyre.
Yeah,
there.
yeah, tile harpa.
Can you?
Yo.
Yes, can you approach? Oh, it's a tile harpa. It's 4 strings?
Yes.
Okay. I read an argument that as we don't know how lyres were played, some people think that they could also be played with a bowstring.
Yo. I mean, this is, I think, coming out of more modern material mostly, where we have, you know, our plucked harp, and then we have our tile harpa as our bowed harp.
Yes. Did you try it once?
Well, I've not gotten a chance to try them, sadly.
Okay.
The closest I've come is I heard Benjamin Bagby do his Beowulf performance using one of the 6-string harps.
Yes.
It's so good.
I have one. Like replica of the Anglo-Saxon.
Oh, cool.
Lyre. So it's also 6 strings.
Yo.
And I don't know how people take like such beautiful sounds from this instrument because I can't. I definitely can't, and I tried.
I've tried the flute, and I have the same problem.
Uh-huh.
I actually like collect flutes, so I'm generally fairly good at making noise with them, but that one's hard.
I have a funny story.
Ooh.
About flute replicas. There was this, I think they're Swedish musical group. It's like old guys who were always in Viking markets in Europe. They're pretty famous actually, but I asked sorry because I forgot their names. I can't remember, but they were playing in a festival in Iceland. There is this little town. I think it's 40 minutes from Reykjavik. It's what's the name again? It's a harbor city. It's
north or south? Yo, because I mean, 40 minutes away would be like Akranes?
No, it's Rap.
Hafnarfjörður?
Yeah, Raptafjörður. Okay, thank you.
Yo.
Raptafjörður. There is. I think it's the only Viking market.
Oh, yo.
Yes, in Iceland. It's from Raptafjörður. And these guys were playing, and I really wanted to talk to them because I started to listen their music years ago here in Brazil. Of course, for me it was magical to listen to their music. It's amazing. And we started talking, and they were selling some of their instruments. And I bought a bone flute.
Okay.
I think it was from I don't know. It's from a goat leg or a ram leg. It's a leg of some animal, some sort. And I really couldn't play that instrument. But my stepmother, she is a very accomplished flautist, a flute player.
Yo.
And when I got back from Iceland, I told her, look, I have this flute. I can't play it well, so if you want it, it's yours. And the moment she started to play, man, it was amazing. It was like, I don't know if it's because she already knows how to play like different kinds of flutes, but yeah.
Amazing.
I
am jealous of that skill, because it takes me a long time to make them happen. Anyway, let's finish up here, because we are almost at the end of the story quests for Oskoreia.
For Oskoreia.
Yo. And I will say, the one thing that I do like that they do here is that, you know, our guy Calver does have a violent death.
I saw
right.
through Calf's eyes
In the right season, and then it like loosely gets associated with the Wild Hunt.
Yes,
it's not
and
nothing.
I really think that the notion of the violent death being something Wild Hunt related as something very old, it's okay, because we have this from ancient material, of course, nothing Norse related, but Christian related. That some people, because they have to fight, they are locked inside this furious army. But from the 19th century, 18th century, 7th century, you have this notion that whoever dies violently at the end of the year, the Wild Hunt suddenly appears and take the body of this person. We have, I think it's from Rogaland, Norway. Someone talking about this in the 19th century, like as something that he saw, like, no, this person died here in this village and the Wild Hunt appeared and took his body.
Spooky. Has been right.
And of course, it's
giving peace to our dead.
It's curious,
you
at
have
least.
really risen to the occasion, Eivor. Come claim your full reward.
So, you got the tokens from Novit.
Anyway,
yes. And he gave me a basket to keep them in.
I think that's about it that I like about this event, though. It's kind of just all very strange. Because another small thing that I actually super dislike about this, I mean, before stream I was like, you know, there's so many other holidays in this time. Because, right, we've got the 9th century poem Oysterfarvisur that talks about Elvablot. But a crucial part of the Elvablot in November is you lock yourself inside. Because inside is the safe place, outside is asking to get hunted.
We'll see how that
yes.
works out.
That's why I think that the thought about the desert that I mentioned here, it's really Wild Hunt related. Because you can't open the door. Someone is going to knock your door and you can't open. And of course, a young man opens and he dies. And he sees the desert fighting. And it's, of course, not Norse related, but when I first read this tale, I remember a movie from Kurosawa called Dreams. I don't know if you watched this movie.
I'm glad to see you back.
And the very first part of this movie is about a kid watching a marriage of fox spirits. And it's something that he couldn't watch. His entire family say, look, the foxes are marrying you can't go outside, and he goes, he sees the foxes, and it's very weird. I love it. And in the end, the foxes, the spirits goes to his mansion and deliver a knife, and his mother says, look, now you have to kill yourself. So I think it's the you see the pattern. It's a very close idea. You have these spirits outside, and it's forbidden for us, and it's a taboo. And if you trespass this, you have to pay with your life. As Assassin's Creed Valhalla could get some nice ideas, why they didn't use, for example, the ogress, the idea of this ogress, this giantess, this. We have a list of Thulur. Of names.
We do.
And of course, we have a very famous figure from Icelandic Christmas that they could represent here. Of course, it's not like really Wild Hunt, but we have this notion on modern Iceland of every day one Yule lad comes from the mountain to play a prank. And in the end, the mother, the Grilla, comes from the mountains. And the name Grilla, it's on the Prose Edda.
Yeah.
So why not?
Yeah,
you know,
I'm hoping
they could play with this.
That they'll redo the Yule event. Because they had a Yule event last year in December.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that they'll redo Yule as a specific thing. And I do hope that they put in the Jólasveinar this time.
Okay. And I have to remind you that the Grilla, and as all troll figures, troll ladies, ogresses, they have tails. They are very frightening, and they comes from the wild. We are stepping into something very familiar here with. We have from Oskoreia, for example, when Sigurd the Young meets Gudrun Guroriserova.
I think Jon Árnason actually in Íslenskar talks about Sigurd Rennungi.
Definitely. He is the guy to read if you want to read anything folk related in Iceland.
Actually, chat, if you have been around for a long time, you've actually heard some of those stories, because when we played Röki, way back when, like almost a year ago, Jon Árnason was the guy I was reading from for most of those stories.
And I think all his materials is online.
Yeah, it is. It's great.
It's like four volumes.
There's so many.
Þjóðsögur.
What am I trying to do? Oh yeah, right. Since it's daytime, before we finish up this section of the stream, because in order to finish it up, we have to talk to who's this guy over here at night.
Okay.
It's daytime though, so instead we are going to go in search of the tattoo parlor.
The what?
The tattoo parlor.
Tattoo parlor?
Yes. Because we got some early medieval tattoos.
I'm not surprised yet.
Who is... yeah. But we got some tattoos from the Discovery Tour that were said to be early medieval beasts. And I want to see what they've got.
Styles for you.
Okay, new styles.
Change hair and tattoos.
See what you have in stock.
Firstly, hair. What do we have? So that is head, not hair. Hair first. So we have this is the Sigurblot hairdo, which is pretty good.
Okay.
I think we might stick with that because it's pretty good. Let's see. Odin's Blessing, well that's terrible. Oriflamme, that's also terrible. Early medieval creatures.
Adam.
Yo.
There is an option to play with a male character, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Please.
Nothing more?
All right.
Does he have
Until
an
I see you
option
next.
to change his haircuts as well?
Yes. He has a totally different set of head.
Does we have the option to select like a haircut which is a bowl?
We can definitely see. I do not know for sure, but I will try.
Because it's probably one of the most popular representations of men of course hairstyles, masculine hairstyles from the Viking Age. But every time I see someone in Instagram dressing as a Viking, they have this like mohawk thing, and nobody wants to use just
May I see your stores?
bigodon and a bowl haircut.
We have shaved.
No,
we have classic.
No,
we have shaved.
No.
We have classic. We have.
No.
I have not bought all of them, to be fair. This is possibly on me, but that I think is the closest we get.
Yes.
But that is not even close.
Do you know Dexter Lab? Like an old cartoon from Cartoon Network?
Yes.
Do you remember a character, I think his name was Mundark?
Vaguely. It has been so long since I have seen that. I'm sure Chad is. Yep, Chad.
It's the perfect Viking Age haircut.
True. Do we have a good beard? We have a long beard.
Okay.
Scraggly. Fancy. Fancy beard. Let's go fancy beard.
This is silly.
This is very silly. Flame and Steel, just Game of Thrones, the tattoo.
Yeah.
Early medieval beasts, though, that's the one we care. That's just the... And then the Odin's Blessing is silly. Early medieval beasts, at least these look weird.
It looks like Saxon, like, beast figures.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't
those...
remind something from the Sultan who...
Yeah.
Like,
they also almost vaguely remind me of, like, Pictish beast figures. Which is funny, because that makes them way more Pictish than the Pictish tattoo. This was what the Pict tattoo looked like.
Why?
I don't know. We're just gonna go full early medieval creatures, because this is the superior.
And why it's so bright?
Because they're like doing like illumination, like it's manuscript
like...
art, but just painted on.
You can definitely say my body is a piece of art with this stats.
Exactly.
Finished?
I will see you later, friend.
Goodbye.
Yeah. We did get a new thing. Sadly, we will not get to use our good sword. This is a museum piece.
There's a sword called Yoyos.
There is. We got it from an assassin tomb in Paris.
Okay.
It's Charlemagne's. It's legit the same one as Charlemagne's.
Definitely. You were stealing a Frankish treasure. The modern French people will be very, very angry at you.
We also found Durandal at the bottom of a well. So, you know.
Durandal isn't from that guy from Roncesvalles, Roland.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, okay.
So he just like dropped it in the bottom of a well, and so it's on the Frankish people that they did not care for their relics.
Okay.
What have you got for me?
Let's upgrade this scythe, and then we will switch over tonight, finish up the quest, and then take a short break. Because we'll take a break in between the two halves here, because we've still got... I don't have any things. I need to go shopping.
I must...
Because once we do this, we will roll briefly into the Tombs of the Fallen to talk about Buddhica. And then we'll call it a night. Because we are already at almost 2 hours. And that puts us at a bit over halfway.
I would like to see what you have in stock.
Give me more of the... Well, actually, I do just need nickel, don't I?
There is always more.
Perfect. We'll buy more of these too, because they're free. Goodbye.
Until next time, Eivor.
God, it is so weird to run around with male Eivor after doing the entire game twice with female Eivor.
Yeah, no. Change.
No,
Change
no, it's fine because it gives us the shaved, better showing off the tattoos.
All my pieces are good, but that one...
Now let's see what this one changes into. I want to see how bad it gets. Yeah! Yeah! We got candles on it! And from candles, what are we gonna get? Come on! Yes!
Where?
Yes!
Where? Hell gets a sight.
Don't know. Let's find
Why?
out. Let's find out.
So long.
How did they justify this one? Oh my goodness, it's beautiful.
It's a candle. God, 3 candles. and of course, it's from hell.
No, there's no explanation. A deadly tool designed for harvesting lives. Alright. Alright. Wait, they have a fucking ice helmet on it, look! Hold up. No, you don't. You don't sneak those in without me noticing.
Yeah!
Hang on, video game. You're not going to escape me.
Perfect. Of course they had to do.
Okay, we need to switch out our cloak for something better for this. I think we may need to just remove the cloak. Goodbye. The power of buffness shall protect us.
The cloak doesn't give you buffers or something?
Well, we can just hide it. It's totally visual.
Ah, okay. Okay.
And also, there are no enemies of significant note.
Can you go the entire game naked?
Yeah, easily.
Okay.
It wouldn't even be hard to do because the game is not very difficult.
Oh, okay.
I just need to get the best pants. Because if we're only going to be wearing one piece of clothes, we may as well make it count. I'm afraid it may be the Carolingian.
Druidic breeches, very druidic.
Yes, extremely druidic. Where are the Carolingian boots? There they are. That red is our best bet. Perfect.
Okay.
So now that we have made our outfit even worse, and by the way, chat, if you want to change my equipment or force me to wear something else, you can use channel points to do that. Or we can walk around like we're a goddamn medieval manuscript and just call that a day.
The Grim Rider!
The Grim Rider.
See, we can just pop it back into existence whenever we want. Anyway, we are going to meditate to nighttime. And then, once it is nighttime...
How does Assassin's Creed Valhalla connect to the whole timeline?
It is... Within the modern day timeline, it is the most recent game.
Okay.
Which, they added an entire... you said the last one you played was Syndicate, right?
Yes.
They added an entire new story arc that wraps up in Valhalla after Syndicate.
Okay.
Nothing has changed. It's just... They just repeated Desmond's story arc. Again. But with a less likable character. But within the broader thing...
I don't think Desmond was a likable character, so if they run an extra mile to make another character that is less likable...
Exactly.
Alright.
Yep.
It's on them.
But within the broader timeline of the meta plot of the Assassins versus Templars, this is the moment in which the Order of the Ancients is destroyed and the Templars are founded. They're the same thing, it's just a different name for the same entity. But yeah, Alfred the Great founds the Templars, by the way.
Okay.
All falls into place. The pattern comes into focus.
And Here is the last cutscene of the Oskoreia narrative.
Writ large on the longhouse.
Sure. I hate that they call the Galdurstaver a rune. It's not related to runes.
There is a researcher in Iceland, an Icelander, and she wrote books about the Icelandic runes. I don't know if she was talking about the Galdurstafir being Icelandic runes.
The gods are angry.
I don't know.
Doubt you again, Uncle.
Oh no,
I'm not an authority on the topic.
Neither am I, but my understanding is that Galdurstavir are derived from French traditions.
Yeah,
and therefore
there is. I think there is little room to discuss
How do you know that?
the topic
Because I've seen
because
the courage
this
and
is.
skill of our people. We've come together.
Sorry, I'm trying to read the text also.
Finish the thought and then we'll resume.
About the Galdurstafir. There are some people that disagree with this notion, and I'm writing actually an article with my former supervisor. We are not trying to reinvent the wheel. We are just trying to read all the materials that we can to, I don't know, just to state our opinion, because we don't have much opportunity to talk about these topics from our Brazilian perspective, of course. But I don't think there isn't much room to discuss this topic apart from what we already discussed, that this material could be just magical systems from mainland Europe, probably something from Solomon Keys, maybe from France or Italy.
Which actually, it was mentioned earlier, there's actually an Indonesian Mindanao, is what it's called, that is just an ice helmet. It looks exactly the same. It's wild.
Here in Brazil, because we have such a huge black community because as in US, Brazil, we had like lots of people being enslaved, and of course we were getting these people from Africa and enslaving them here in Brazil. Today we have this huge Yoruba movement. It's very important for us, this Yoruba heritage. And some of the magical symbols from the Yoruba culture really reminds some Galdurstafir. At the point that some people here in Brazil asked if they were related, and of course they aren't. But they are very, very similar. It's amazing.
And AC corrects me, it's Filipino, not Indonesian.
Filipino, okay.
But still,
what's the name again?
It's called a Mindanao, Mindanao, I believe. It's just I saw it on Twitter actually. Just that it was like, oh yeah, in the top of this manuscript we have some things that are probably from the Lesser Keys of Solomon, and one of them looks exactly like a Galdurstaver.
Okay.
Anyway, right, if I had to take a guess, probably the same transmission is the... Awesome, thank you, AC. If I had to take a guess, though, the Yoruba materials, if they are related, is the same transmission, right? Borrowing from Islam from the Lesser Keys of Solomon?
Yes, it makes sense at least, because although we didn't have a migration of Islamic people to South America, a lot of our Jewish population that we call cristãos novos or young Christians.
Wild. That is a take.
Jewish people that were forced to baptize it. Then they just run from Portugal and Spain to Brazil and the other countries around South America. They come from places where the Islamic culture was very strong before. So probably we are looking to a melting pot here of Christian and Jewish and Islamic cultures.
Exactly.
In Spain and Portugal.
Yeah, I was also thinking of like the Kingdom of Mali being sort of a West African powerhouse,
nice.
And potentially introducing Islamic iconography into West African non-Islamic traditions.
I think that we also, although we have also a lot of people being enslaved from Western Africa, they could get in touch with this material because you have a lot of people not wandering, but you have like commercial routes from Northern Africa that they could be in touch with.
Exactly.
And of course, these materials could be circulating.
Exactly. And honestly, I think that's way cooler than the option of, oh, it's secretly some ancient thing that is getting borrowed. Because that speaks so much better to how connected the hemisphere was. Anyway, let's finish up here.
Like to meet great challenges.
Inspiring power of friendship speeches.
Because I know that when people are united and strong.
Wait, no, we are actually just power of friendshiping. Oh no. Also, one...
The gods are with us.
What? Huh?
Ooh! Look, it's 80 Big Ass Saga all again.
Oh no! Okay,
enjoy it. Yeah, I really like this.
One tiny problem.
What?
We are Odin. Eivor is Odin.
I was about to say that I really enjoyed this part because I really think that the fact that all these supernatural things happens at the end of the year, at least for me as a Brazilian, we don't have much difference between the seasons here in Brazil. It is warm or warmer.
Oof.
And if you go south, it gets cold. Yes, very cold. But our landscape doesn't change dramatically as I saw in Northern Europe. Not necessarily Northern Europe. I mean, in US and Canada, I'm pretty sure that the landscape also changes a lot.
Oh, it does.
But all this, I mean, one thing that for me was very precious while I was in Iceland doing research is to pay attention to the environment and how the environment can help to tell stories, you know?
Yes.
And again, if you think that there is a painting on the National Museum of Iceland, which is like almost inside the university, which is it represents a family and someone is reading from a book and telling the story for the family or the other house dwellers. And I think that when Eivor was speaking and the thunder was, I don't know, thundering, and the wind was howling, these natural elements, they are very old for all the ghost stories that we have from the Greeks, the Romans, and the Germans, of course, that when something supernatural is happening, the natural elements are on full blast.
Yes.
But I really enjoy it. I really feel that Yeah, during Christmas in Scandinavia, people could be using these elements to like fuel their stories. You know how they tell their stories.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's corny to us now because it's been done so often and so poorly so many times. But yeah, I mean, it is one of those things that is genuinely authentic, even if it doesn't ring that way to us, but it actually is.
I really prefer to see like, oh, you have what you do you see are the ghosts of the family, the deceased, people that somehow related to the people who are now living, than to see like really supernatural riders, you know. I think that it's more grounded to what Scandinavian folk belief really understands as Wild Hunt.
I agree. And I think on that, this is where we will leave off the Wild Hunt section of the stream. So we're going to take a quick break here to just stretch, since it's been 2 hours, so let's get up, stretch, refill on drinks, and then we'll come back for the Tombs of the Fallen. So we'll run a couple minutes of ads here. If you want the ad-free viewing experience, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and then you unlock all of the emotes. So many emotes, and they are all so good. So yeah, we will see you in a couple of minutes. And ad break. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. We are back with the other half.
I'm impressed by the candles.
The candles are so good. So, chat. Here's the deal. This is the part where we get Buddhica. So this is a great time to remind all the friends to come in. Because if you want to see how Assassin's Creed Valhalla puts Buddhica, you know, that famously Viking Age person, into a video game.
Very Viking.
Oh, yes.
Very Viking Age also.
Extremely Viking Age.
Lots of sagas about it.
Indeed. Definitely not like one source. No, there's a few sources, they just all disagree.
It's a fine day, eh, what?
Everyone's also, for some reason, all the animals are panicking. Which is a very Saga thing to have happen, but it's usually not because of illusions or weird stuff. It's more just that the animals are ghosts.
Have you ever known anything like
Wait, what?
What? I mean, I'm thinking of like Erbigia and the Demon Cow,
okay.
or
Okay.
Ragnar Saga and Sibylla.
Yeah.
Instead, we just have the animals are freaking out for no reason.
My very pig chewed through her fence and plunged into the river. She
I
tried
don't
to
know
swim.
why. They haven't explained this part yet.
I have seen crows attacking one another.
Anyway, though.
I want to remind you that a bunch of the dead that appears in the Erbigia saga, they died drowning.
Indeed. And actually, that's one of the things that I find super fun and weird, because there's that one line in it that says it was believed in those days that if if Raun allowed a man to attend his own funeral, it was good luck.
Yes.
I was like, what do we do with that information?
Something must be done. Do you think we are in danger?
Oh, so China's saying you are very quiet. Let's turn you up a little bit.
Okay. My volume.
There we go. You should
Okay.
be better now.
Thank you.
Thank you, chat. So, we have this random ass tomb. Which is just like straight up this rock face, apparently. And it is guarded by this symbol right here.
Okay.
I mean, fair play, they are using it for its intended purpose, question mark?
What Seder is this?
What Seder is
Yes,
this?
that extremely hard D.
I can't believe it.
The voice training may have not been the greatest here. So anyway, that's what a symbol known as Alvin's Illusory Glyph, which is, as far as I know, 16th century?
Yes. They're very late.
They're very late. I am struck by the unusual stone structures found in the tombs. I cannot believe that Britons, who live in huts of hay, could have carved such columns. Some long-forgotten peoples must have erected them. Manius Colvisius, engineer to the Emperor.
Very known, also. Very known.
Yep.
Everybody on the 1st century wanted a house designed by him.
Indeed. Now, there is one thing that is going to strike me as weird here that I just realized, because, as we go in here, we're going to get more writings by him. Lots more, hopefully. Where are they? There you go. Command of Nero Claudius Germanicus, Emperor of Rome. Manius, I know you to be a capable engineer with a cunning and sometimes diabolical imagination. I am therefore assigning you this weighty commission. I am also trying to look something up at the same time. The barbarians of Britain have taken to gathering at the tombs of their heroes as if at sacred sites. or as if at sacred shrines. There they foment rebellion against Rome, and therefore against my very person. That's what I thought. This cannot be tolerated. However, Manius, I have consulted my soothsayer, a man of subtle knowledge. The auguries tell him that to defile the tombs, or even seal them away, would bring a storm of ill fortune upon me personally. You see the problem. You must leave the tombs unharmed, but endeavor to make access to them so powerless as to be unthinkable. I'm not asking you a favor, Manius, this is a command from your emperor. Nero Claudius Caesar Augustus Germanicus. Now... In other words, this is Nero.
It appears so.
Like the one whose Rome burned down under.
I mean, how do you say in English, they Senus, they Kenny? Yes, they Kenny, or
yes.
Ekeni.
Yep.
Yeah, they really revolted during Nero. Wasn't? It's on the 60.
Yeah, it's about 60. So Boudica's revolt is circa 60 CE.
Yes.
I believe Nero dies in 68, I believe.
Yes, I mean, it could be. Sometimes people make some confusion about it because Julius Caesar invaded British Isles before Christ.
Yeah, like about 50 BC.
Yes. But the Iceni revolt was AD.
I need something very heavy.
Yeah, I also had another confusion because I thought I was looking at Nero Claudius Drusus Germanicus, who was a general who operated in Northern Europe for Rome in the 60s BC. So, but no, they did actually specify that this is the Emperor Nero, who is very slightly later, and therefore this is okay? Question mark.
This is the ancient work of Romans.
No, it's not. Don't be like this. Don't say these things.
Sealed tight. No way to open this.
What if this is Roman? Eivor. Honestly. So, by the way, shoutouts to Corn Brooms for apparently enduring 700 years. And Parchment Scrolls for just being fine. God, imagine if they took this little care. Imagine how great it would be.
Is this England? Odd. Some
Did we get a
locations are
disconnect
marked.
here? Hold up. Oh, yep. Hold up just a moment. We seem to have gotten a disconnect. Apologies for this, chat. Technical difficulties abound. Niram, what? Ulda and Gayawork? That's the ruin, isn't it? I think that's the only poem that refers to them that way. So we just had, unfortunately, Pablo drop from the call, which is very unlucky. But we'll get him on as soon as we can. The joys of cross-continental internet. Anyway, I could memorize where these are on the map of England, which, by the way, impressively geologically accurate. Right? It looks exactly like this map. To the T. Boom. Even the rivers are present. Look at that. Look how impressive all these rivers are. We are going to ignore that because I have the power of the internet. And we will just look up where they are. Because I'm not going to, like, risk... No one wants to see me wander around attempting to get things. We can just pick them up as soon as we get Pablo back on. And we'll just go find them that way. And we're gonna jump straight to... I think we can go straight to Buddhica's, can't we? Yeah. Good. We can do Buddhica first. Perfect. We are getting the modem restarted, so hold on for just a couple of moments. Internet went kaput. In the meantime, chat, do you have any questions? Yeah, wouldn't the map that old include Doggerland? Actually, I said have, but you're right, the stone one potentially might. Oh, that's wild to think about. Because if that's actually Isu, then that's circa, like, what? Actually, that's too old. That's actually too old for Doggerland. Because 75,000 years before present, at least. The thing is, Doggerland floods in interglacial minima. So... Oops, let's get that call going again. And I think so. I think we return slowly, maybe. Let's boom and full screen and get the sources reset up. Just a sec, we are working on the return. And oh, I am in the wrong window. Hold up a minute. There we go. Let's try that again.
Okay.
Let's try that again, this time with feeling. Welcome back.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, my connection dropped out.
It happens, don't worry about it. I mean, the joys of, like, transcontinental interneting.
Exactly.
Wait, and Shiru, I really hope you're not... I really hope that's not true, because if that leak is real, I will be very, sad. That will be very sad. Anyway, we were just talking about this map, which is remarkably precise to the in-game map of England.
Is it?
I mean, you can see all the little glowy blue lines are the rivers that are on this map.
Huh.
So you get this.
Yeah.
And then you get this. And you can see the rivers are the same. These are the same. And we're just thinking about, this is Isu, which means that this is at least 75,000 years before present.
Yes.
According to the lore of the game, because for some reason they made the fucking Toba eruption a solar flare. Boo. But we were wondering, you know, would Doggerland be supposed to show up?
What is these inscriptions on the stone?
Which ones? These little glowy ones?
No, upper.
Yes. Circuits.
Yes.
I think they're circuits.
Circuits?
Yeah.
Oh, because... Yeah. Oh, okay. Because at the end of the day, this is still a narrative, a sci-fi narrative of some sort.
Exactly. You can see better ones. You can see better ones here.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Sometimes I get confused with this side of Assassin's Creed.
I get confused all the time, and I've played the games recently. Oh boy. I didn't... Shiro, I appreciate you telling us this information. I really wish I could unhear this information. It is no fault of yours. It's just did they have to. So we were just informed that a pack for the microtransaction store leaked. That is a shinobi set with katanas and a kitsune as a mount.
Why? In Portuguese, my mind is just like cursing in Portuguese.
That's fair.
I don't know how to translate these cursings to English. Sorry, but it's like why?
Why is
why these people
question.
exist? Katanas and kitsune. Hey. I mean, everybody should play the game as they want. We have a pack on steampunk theme.
Yeah.
Why not ninjas and shinobi and kitsune?
Oh, I did not actually. You know, Peter, I completely forgot to actually get the gear out of this place. You're right. I went through all the trouble of going and looking at the map, and then I didn't actually get the cloak. I'm dumb.
Oh, what? How is this tomb related to Buddhica?
This one is not. This is just the setup. But we have three other tombs in England.
Okay.
The tomb of Buddhica.
Yes.
The tomb of Casauelanus. And the tomb of Venutius.
Okay. And they are part of other content, I believe.
It's actually not clear to me what other or what is coming next for this, because this is the first time, right, they have been mentioned. And clearing these tombs seems to do nothing. It just seems to be like, hey, congratulations, have some armor. Which is not great. Emperor Nero has given me a task born of madness. Fair enough. And so he has created dumb spike traps. Literally, dumb spike traps. Like this. And like...
Are they activated?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Alright.
Impressive gear.
Are they impressive? Yeah. Fallen hero, okay.
We get the Fallen Hero cape, which apparently is supposed to be Brittonic, like pre-Germanic migrations Brittonic.
Okay. I mean, they're supposed to be in this tomb since the 1st century.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And Maraxa in chat helpfully points out that, you know, Venutius, one of those 3 tombs, he still is alive when Nero dies in 68. So this ancient Brittonic hero that the Britons worship as signs is still alive. Boudica died a whole 8 years previously.
Yeah.
Like, not even a decade. Everyone still remembers. Not exactly an ancient hero. Oh, okay, so that's what they're trying to get into. So, there is like a dumb optional content called the Mastery Challenges, which are good for one reason and one reason only. So Boudica tomb location is next to Risley Farm. Perfect. And that one reason is that the runes for the 3 classes spell out IHS. I'll show you. But they're just like optional like combat challenges basically, which are not enjoyable. But Hilderan, who's the one who gives it to you, either actually a Valkyrie herself or related to a Valkyrie. And so apparently they're going to try and tie those two together. Ancient Britonic tombs. Ancient Britonic tombs. And Valkyrie challenges being related to each other.
Oh, aye.
Yeah.
As the Icelanders say, yeah.
Such a good word. So versatile.
Yes.
Well, there's the fly Igric. In case you wanted to get very high.
Yeah, why not?
No. They're so bad. They're so dumb. Let's find the actual thing, the illusory rune. Is it underwater? I bet it's underwater. I got baited. It's not underwater, chat.
It could be.
Ow. The giant swirly. Okay. Well, that's dumb.
How we didn't see it before?
Found it. It's right here.
Yes.
Goodbye. Rock. Goodbye. Okay. Who is this?
Same as the other.
By pure happenstance, I unleashed the power of this remarkable machinery. Using some artifice, the entrances to these caves were obscured, leaving a passerby to believe there is no entrance at all. If I believed the gods existed, I would describe this to Mercury himself. Wow!
Yes. Why not?
I mean,
very
Interpretatio Romana aside, right?
So
Mercury
this
being
is
Alvin.
Buddhica tomb.
Welcome to Buddhica's tomb.
Yes.
This place is not very welcoming.
Definitely not. Lots of traps.
Meh.
I'm a Roman engineer.
Yes. You know, that person really well known for booby trapping places. Well, this was a very scuffed way of getting
I did
around.
know that. I mean, I know one thing or two about Roman engineers, about sappers, and how good they were in battlefield. But I don't know that there was Roman engineers very good in trapping everything around.
Apparently.
Yes.
More news to everyone, I think. I don't know a single person who expected this. Okay, apparently good to know that there are spheres that I definitely missed in the first one. Right, I definitely missed it in the first one. But now we get a spooky too.
Okay.
Uh-huh. We get a question about gender. You love when someone just walks up into chat and starts off with, how gay were Vikings historically? To which I recommend our mutual friend, Amy Franks, has a podcast.
Yes. I believe the name of her podcast is Vikings Are Gay.
Correct.
Yes.
And they are good people. Amy is very cool. Knows that subject better than either of us do.
Yes.
Their MA thesis was on Alvin as a queer deity, which was great.
For me, she's someone to read when I want to know more about this topic.
Exactly.
Here in Brazil, we have a journal that it's getting more and more numbers. We just recently released our new issue. It's called Scandia.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yes. And Amy wrote an article for us about gender and Odin. It's very curious. I recommend this article.
Good.
Not because it's our journal, of course, but because the article is very good. Very good.
Didn't like Luca and Roberto also write things for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Luca wrote an article about God of War, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him on when the God of War PC release comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it's making a lot of fuzz, isn't it? Like, people doesn't want to see God of War in PC.
That's weird.
Like, people were like, oh, it's a Sony treasure. These stinky dudes from computer gaming can't play God of War. Yeah, but Roberto wrote an article with someone, I think it was about Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember, that's what he said.
Let's not fall.
Oh, that's just death. Okay. Neat. Now, how do I open the thing? Looks like I just cannot open the thing yet. That's weird. Oh well. We'll go this way. Oh, that needs a thing. This doesn't need a thing. Let's go this way. And thank you, Mun3001 for the follow.
Slowly. Carefully.
No. No cap. We run fast. This is an egregious number of spikes. I'll be honest. This is potentially too many spikes.
Yes. They were trying to compensate for something.
Need to be careful.
Oh, that's fair.
And this is poisonous fumes?
Yeah.
Okay.
It does like 2 damage. Don't worry about it. Hey Lord, please. I have seen the Elderman set. Sadly, Shiro, we voted to be spooky for the Wild Hunt section, and now we are voting to be medieval manuscript. And so in neither case are we getting the Elderman set. Really though, the Elderman set I have a couple of quibbles with.
How many traps are in this place?
Yes. Because let's actually pull that up, because it's actually like historically interesting. Sue Brunig from the British Museum helped design it. The main quibble I have...
I love the helmet.
But that's the one I actually have a quibble with, because this is... No other reconstruction I have ever seen puts this large of a crest
But
on one of these helmets.
I think there is a Saxon helmet with this crest, isn't?
Maybe?
Yes, there is.
I thought the crest didn't survive on it, and most people reconstruct it as being like boar hair instead of. So it's a really short hair crest.
Now I don't know, because all the representations I see on the internet is like with this very tall red crest.
Weird.
Yes.
Because that's the one I haven't seen in my searching. I saw a lot of really short, like, black hair bristles. I concede I might be wrong here, but
No, the representations I saw, I never saw this tail, actually.
Yeah, another thing
like
I didn't see.
A little tail, yes. It's called the... No, it's not the Bentigrange.
Ow. Okay. Be that way, Eivor. Yay, puzzle sections. Truly the most exciting historical content. There we go. It worked this time. How do you let me up here? Yeah, that's what I thought. Didn't think you were gonna let me up yet. Fine. We're gonna have to pull this one around this way. As far as we can. Perfect. I see the solution.
I have a piece of information regarding this helmet.
Oh, good.
Yes. So the helmet you were talking is the Benty Grange helmet with the little boar on the top, and the boar is supposed to have like some fur on it, on the top of the boar. There is a replica of the Benty Grange in the Weston Park Museum in Sheffield.
Okay.
And this replica have some hair on it.
Cool.
Hair or fur? How should I call it?
I think hair is fine in this case.
Hair is fine. Okay, but there is it's called the ornate gold helmet from Staffordshire.
Okay.
And this helmet, it's at the Birmingham Museum. There is a reconstruction with this red crest.
Okay.
Red crest. So
Cool.
maybe the helmet was designed after this one from Staffordshire.
That would make a lot of sense. Sweet. I mean, it would have surprised me if Dr. Brunning had actually. I mean, my explanation
It's fairly
for it...
new. It's fairly new.
Okay.
I think it's from 2010.
Oh wow, that is new.
So when it appeared, it caused a lot of fuss because we don't have much Anglo-Saxon helmets going on.
Yeah.
I think it's like about 5,
If
or
that many.
6, or 6. Yeah. And when this appeared, it was like it caused a fuss.
Huh. Well, I can't actually get the thing across in either case. That's weird.
Easy now. Something is not right.
Yeah, Peter, I do not mind backseating here because this is not in. I don't think I can actually yeet it. Maybe I can? Well, not if I run off the edge. Does it say? It might say. Yep, Staffordshire Horde.
Yes.
So it's that new one. Yep. But yeah, my explanation for it had been just that the team wanted a more... I can eat it.
Okay, yes.
Look at that perfect eat. Flawless. Anyway, right, I had assumed that it was just the Assassin's Creed design team really wanted something with a bigger crest than was historically attested, which would have been a fair choice, right? That's not a criticism. That's just a, hey, we think this looks cool. Let's go for it.
I mean, you're just carrying hell sight on your back.
Exactly.
Oh.
But right, clearly though, Dr. Brunning is one of the best in the field for early medieval English material culture. So, I generally have like no criticisms of the overall set because it's actually almost entirely from museum pieces. I mean, even though it says inspired by, they're fairly faithful.
Mm-hmm.
Fairly faithfully inspired bys. And then you get something like, you know, the Badala Gilling Sword, which is an actual piece in the British Museum that they just recreated.
Yes, this is very
and made
interesting
extra shiny.
Yes, I mean, but I really love the design.
Yeah. And we can go in here. Oh. Whoa.
Again, the Romans showing their loves for spikes.
Truly, this man loves too many of his spikes.
Smells like a trap. I have to go through this.
Yes. Deal with it. Just don't brave. You're not going that far. Honestly. And then we'll gorge ourselves on some mushrooms, and it will be fine. And we could have dealt with that, like, in other ways. We could have thrown a torch, and all the sewer gas will explode, because... reasons? Oh, I just did the thing. I need to eat.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh no!
Yeah. That was a very crappy shot when it comes to. Try this again, both feeling.
On precision. Yes.
Okay. now Chad is just memeing about the number of spikes, which is fair. That's honestly the most historically interesting thing. Because if it's not clear, right, that is literally zero evidence. Oh. Oh, this is exciting. Fairly literally zero evidence of booby traps being used historically. Like, that's just not a thing. No one does it, because if you're trying to use a space, like, putting dumb traps that won't actually get anyone in the way doesn't actually help. It doesn't do anything. Oh, okay, what do I have to do here? Is there a path down here that I have to endure? No, I just need to make this not heavy. Okay. Yay, no.
Oh, can you throw them?
Trying.
Yes, yes.
And now... it's slowly falling.
Is this... yeah. That's true.
Hooray.
Can't you just jump across?
If we move fast. But sadly, I don't think it's open yet. I think we're short one more thing.
Oh.
Lame. Oh, hey, look, it's a Roman column. What's it doing? What's it doing down there? Why is it square?
I think it maybe helps you if you just follow.
Yeah. Maybe?
Yeah.
Strange. What a strange place this is.
Designed by Roman engineers, of course.
Of course. Yes, definitely. No two ways about that. Definitely Roman engineers. Did I actually just not pull a lever that was right there conveniently? Is that what I did? Is that actually what I did, chat? Oh. It's totally what I did. Oh my goodness. I am so dumb.
What you needed to do? Oh. It is still open the door.
And then we'll just break it and it definitely will hold, yeah. I just missed the incredibly obvious open spot. Hooray. Hooray. And here we go. Putting these giant heavy blocks with mosaics on them onto the other giant heavy blocks with mosaics on them.
Oh no, you beat Roman
Another
engineering.
chamber. May this one be as fruitful.
Look at this. They've used the same. I think this is the only mosaic they can get a license for, because they've used it like 17 times. Deliver is a good piece. I think it's in Rome. I'm not sure, but I seem to remember seeing that one before in Rome. Anyway, Boudica's tomb.
Okay, so we finally.
Who disturbs my centuries-long slumber?
What? What is happening?
I well deserve this rest.
Is this Buddhica?
When my husband,
oh God.
chief of the Iceni, died, the Romans broke their promise to us. They took our lands, cattle,
Iceni.
crops, our horses, and boats.
Iceni, yes.
Yes.
They defiled
And
my
I was
daughters,
calling Ikeni,
then me.
which I don't know if it's wrong.
Yeah, Ikeni would be right.
Yes.
I burned
Wait.
their camps, Colchester,
Wait,
London,
blaming your fiery
desecrated
temper
Roman
for being
tombs, let
understandably
flow
extremely
rivers of
mad after
Roman
being
blood.
sexually assaulted? What?
But there were too
What is
many.
this writing?
Defeated, I drank
It's
poison
because you're
rather
not
than give
Roman.
myself to their sweat.
Right,
why.
right.
You
I
were
am
Roman.
Boudica.
Of course, then it would just be noble and understandable and sensible. But you're not. Therefore... hooray. In broad strokes, that account of Boudica's revolt is fine. This tomb is severely not fine.
Isn't this like high medieval?
Yeah, 12th century, I'd say.
Yeah.
And we're told that the bowl in particular, is that still smoking?
Yes, it is. It is.
700 years, and the charcoal hasn't run out yet. Wild. And we get 2 pieces of armor there.
Of the same kind as the first.
Sweet. Let us equip this armor and see how bad it is. We have 3 pieces so far. We have this. We have this. Wait. What? You're just not gonna mention the fact that those are Solarets. Okay. Okay. We're just not gonna mention it? Okay, neat. Neat. Collect.
What is this?
An excellent question.
Why did I say
I'm
that?
still
Someplace
flabbergasted by the representation of the. Please wait. Is it a lion on the feet
yes.
of the
yes.
this? Because this is Buddhica tomb.
Yes.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And okay, we have this.
Heracles right there.
Yes, but at the top we have a knight representation from the 12th century.
Yep.
With a lion.
Correct.
On his feet. And the lion at the feet of a knight is a very Christian.
Super duper.
Yes, it's something related to the father, I think. But why is this connected with Buddhica?
Because they have 2 assets for tombs, and that is the fancier one.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately, that is the entire explanation. Also, this whole structure is at least 75,000 years old.
Okay.
Right, the tomb is later. Obviously, the tomb appears to be later. Right, it's not the same style as the rest of the Isu building.
This is why I stopped playing Assassin's Creed. It makes my head hurts. As a historian, I don't know where it's going on.
Yep.
And as a sci-fi fan, like I love sci-fi series and literature and movies. I can't. I can enjoy Assassin's Creed when they do this. Like it's a lot of things going on and.
Yeah, there's just a lot of things going on. It's just the best description. And yeah, thank you, my name is you, for pointing out that yes, pits and false passages in tombs are a thing. They're rare, but they are a thing, which is a fair correction. But the spinny bullshit, traps are severely not things, and a false passage that is a dead end is designed to just frustrate and confuse, not so much murder the anyone who tries to intrude. Yeah, I guess I can see how this is supposed to be Isu. They do have the glowy yellow bullshit. Fine. If the Britons had Isu armor, how on earth did they ever lose to Rome? No, Niram, even Qin Shi Huangde's tomb in Xi'an doesn't have crazy traps. It's got mercury. But it doesn't have actually, like, legit crazy, like, super hyper crazy traps. Shropshire, east from Repton. Where is Repton? In Shropshire. Wait. Yeah. That doesn't make sense. They directioned wrong. It's directly west of Repton. Not directly east. It's about there. Ah, crap. Repton's our closest one. Lame. Lame.
So you were fast traveling and then just...
I looked up where they are.
Riding the entire way? Okay.
Well, yeah, we have no way to fastly get there, so we're gonna hop on a boat.
What? Yes. Okay. I was about to ask what are your options in navigation.
Boat,
map.
bear, and foot are our three options. I would say horse, but we have not used a horse in months.
What do you think about the boat representations on the boats and ships?
I think the actual raw image is actually, like, fairly... Right, as far as it goes, the construction of the boat is done really well. And they did put a lot of... I made a wrong turn, didn't I? Yep, I made a wrong turn. Hold up. We're just gonna throw ourselves off real quick in order to be able to slow down to turn around. Well, you don't need to do that, I'm just bad at buttons. But right, the actual construction of the boat is good. Right, you can see clearly the overlapping clinker design. The hull, the deckless underside here is good. I don't even hate the like dragonhead prow. The sail's the right kind of construction, though the coloration to me seems off. Possible, but not attested.
Maybe this is the reason for this palette option is because everything in the game is so colorful.
Yeah, it is.
That it would be weird if the ship were more bland.
Yeah, and I mean, right, the actual painting on this particular ship is actually quite good. I'm more referring to the Raven Clan sail being teal instead of, you know, more primary colors. But for the most part, right, this ship is done really well. And one small detail that they do phenomenally is just that the mast is removable. So if we ever get to a bridge, we'll actually take down the sail and the mast in order to go underneath it. So right, as far as the boat goes, it's done really well. I just wish that the boat was actually integrated into gameplay more, because it's just a way to get around right now. There's never a naval battle sequence despite those happening.
Oh, I see. So the boat is only for traveling purposes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's a bit frustrating, I think.
A tiny bit, yeah.
I mean, because I didn't play it, but I saw the scenes from Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and the uses of ships, the boats on that Assassin's Creed Odyssey was really good and beautiful. But I didn't play, so I don't know if it was good or not.
Yeah, I haven't actually played much Odyssey either, so it looked really fun. I just don't know enough Greek or Roman history to, you know, I guess Greek. Why did I say Roman? It's Peloponnesian War. I don't know enough Greek history to actually say if the warfare is at all accurate.
I have a friend who actually used the. I think there is an educational boat. To teach Greek history in classes.
There's the Discovery Tour.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
He used it to teach in his classes, and the reception was very good.
Yeah.
The kids really enjoy it.
Yep. They just released the Discovery Tour for Valhalla a couple of weeks ago. I spent 9 hours reviewing it.
I may have to get
well, did you enjoy it?
For the most part, yes. There are some cases where they used some very bad scholarship and just like didn't have the mechanisms to realize it was bad. So there were some claims in there that were just wrong. And anytime they touched on religion, it's not worth the code that was used to type it as a resource.
Holy.
But for pretty much everything that is not religion, they did a really good job.
And why did you wrote a review?
It's a video actually. I streamed it here. And it is currently in the process of being cut into short little highlights that can be actually hopefully used in classrooms, kind of in that 6 to 10 minute length out of a 9-hour stream. So each quest is an hour long. There are 8 of them in the game. So basically try and get 10 minutes out of every hour so that you can actually get a highlight reel of hopefully entertaining review of the main historical claims of Viking Discovery Tour of the Viking Age. Hopefully I'll have that out before the end of the year. It's just a lot of footage, and still I'm working with my editor for that to really try and make that as good as we can.
An empty dock.
I mean, 9 hours is not freaking.
That's a lot of footage. I was dead. I was absolutely dead. Well, that was sad.
So, is this a new tomb?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the tomb of Castle Evanus.
Okay.
Who is, I believe, another 1st century figure. It continues to be weird to me that there are all of these, that there's the claim from Nero that they are ancient, when they are all 1st century. Let's find out, though. Read. Oh. Rest in peace, guy.
Why the game is saying that your rations are full? What do you use your rations for?
It's our healing item. You can just munch on some mushrooms in order to heal, or berries, or whatever. And so, instead of having auto-regenerating health, they just were like, hey, you now have food. That is grossly overpowered and does not make any more sense.
19% of them are mushrooms.
Yeah, it's either chanterelle or berries, or sometimes a pot of stew. Anyway, Roman temple apparently. What is a Roman temple space doing here? Oh hey, it's actually Hebe, I think.
mean, if I recall correctly, some of the Roman gods in the Assassin's Creed franchise are actually aliens. So we have representations of Juno and other gods, but I'm recalling this from memory, so I could be wrong.
You are exactly right. Additionally, Valhalla gave us the extra tidbit of, in Skullscapramau, the story of the mead of poetry. The Jötnar from that are the Greek gods.
Okay.
Yo. I got nothing.
The boat is blocked.
Hello, Sisostris, welcome.
That part with I think it was a goddess statue. It has some arrows lying there. Didn't you have to shoot at something?
Maybe? I didn't see.
Okay.
We can go back and take a look, though. Oops. As soon as I manage to throw this correctly up.
Yep.
Third tries the charm. There we go.
Yes.
Let's go take a look.
Okay.
It was right back this way, right?
Yes.
Now that I relit the breach.
There.
Wait, why on earth is there a temple here?
Yeah, can't you see the arrows?
I don't see... I don't actively see anything to shoot.
Okay, so...
It is weird though, they would usually... Yeah, there's nothing up here either, so... I think they just gave us some arrows in preparation for the next area.
Okay.
Peculiar. I have so many arrows though, I'm not actually worried. Darn. Yeah, there's no way to get it up there, so apparently that was not supposed to go up there. Or rather, go down this way. Shame. More gameplay. Smart. We are not going to do the last tomb, because I know it's getting late for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost midnight here
exactly.
in Brazil.
So, we will call it quits after we finish this tomb, and we will just assume that nothing better will come from this whole shebang. As a historian, this is a lot to deal with, and none of it is good. Oh. Give me treasure.
But, Adam.
Yo?
Did you have the opportunity to teach? Not at the universities, but at school level?
Sort of. I got to do admin work in a high school last year, which involved some teaching. But for the most part, my education has all been through online lectures and online platforms.
Okay. Because of the pandemic?
Yeah. Also, turns out there's no job market. No one's hiring teachers right now.
Yeah, same in Brazil. Don't worry.
Yo.
I'm currently working something totally non-related to my research or whatever. But I was asking this because I worked a lot as a high school teacher. I already teach kids. I already teach teenagers, and I already teach at one university close to where I live in Brazil. I teach for 2 years at the university level, and I have to say that most of the places that people who are interested in these topics get their information are from games and TV shows, and one way to be related to your students is just to play games.
Yo.
No. And if you use examples from games, especially the kids, they will not only be very interested in your classes, but they will really understand the point where you are trying to get, at least.
Yeah, that's something that has definitely come up in like my experience and my reading, right? That's actually why I do stuff on Twitch here, to say it in the fewest possible words, right? You know, there is a market, I think, to take games seriously.
Oh no, totally.
Right? And that there's a lot of potential value in taking games seriously and criticizing them online, and that it's way more discoverable than just classrooms. And so this is a good way to kind of balance the ideas of education and teaching through games with sort of online content creation and trying to make a living in this job market.
Yes. I mean, some people can be very conservative as they understand video games, but for me it's really a good way to get connected with your students. But now I really think that it's not an option to run anymore.
Oh, God,
because Twitch, for example, it's a way of living to a bunch of people.
Yep.
And not only Twitch, but I know people that live on podcasts and
oh, wow.
YouTube as creators, and yeah, it's nice to see, you know, this knowledge getting out of the our formal institutions like universities and yeah.
Very, very much agreed. Actually, in that vein, chat, to turn briefly to what's coming up, I actually have 2 more streams coming up in the next kind of long weekend here. So on Sunday, I'm actually going to have a Qing historian on to talk about kind of Qing modernization efforts, colonialism, etc. in the legend of Tianding. So not Japan and not Taiwan specifically, but rather like Qing colonialism was in the back half of that game, and that game rocks. That game absolutely rocks. And so we are going to see something, have a really cool talk there. And Sophie, you've just been playing Valiant Hearts, I know. I'm going to be comparing the 2 games quite a bit in that stream, because they do. I think Tianding has an evolution of Valiant Hearts mechanics in some ways. So that's going to be a fun one. And then on Monday, I'm going to have Overly Sarcastic Productions Blue on, one of the examples of those people that are making... Perfect. People who are making a living off of doing history on YouTube is going to come on while I play Amazon's MMO New World. We're going to have a nice chat about, you know, online ecosystems and also whatever the heck that game does.
Did you enjoy New World?
Oh god, no. I'm having it. See, okay. It is the professional obligation of Assassin's Creed Valhalla,
yes,
but far worse.
Yes. I love the way that you put everything on a professional lens.
I mean, there is very little... Every time I think I understand that game, it gets me more confused.
Yeah, I mean, I tried, but didn't catch me.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy enough to write off because it's so absurd, but I'm of the opinion that that's a game that the ways in which it is dumb are incredibly revealing as to what it means, what game devs think means historically accurate, and where are the gaps in people's understanding of historical accuracy. Right, there is a... So, kind of the example I have is, right, religion in that game is just is exactly what you expect from a bunch of American game devs trying to talk about religion with no prior experience. You get exactly the result that you expect from it.
Yes, I understand the point. You were talking something about colonialism, and what's the name of the game? Oh no!
We're gonna have to go get that again.
Is the legend of Tianjin?
The Legend of Tianjin, Tian D-I-N-G. It's such a good game. That game is phenomenal.
I know. I saw your stream.
Oh, good.
I saw you talking about it, and New World had some very complicated representation of the, I think it's late king material, and the talks, because the name of the game it's New World, and of course you have a lot of imagery from this. I mean, I can't stop thinking that the devs had this image of people coming from a place to a new place, and the player is just finding a place like it's...
Yeah.
I don't know even how to explain this, sorry. It's...
No, I mean, I get exactly what you're saying, right? They've got this idea of this, like, harmless colonialism.
Yes, it gets again to colonialism. It's like the whole idea of New World in exploring something that it's...
this is interesting.
Yes. Okay. So, New World, the player is on this place where everything it's supposed to be different, but at the same time everything that is portrayed different. It's non-European.
Yep.
You know where I'm getting.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, yes. And there's occasional flashes of a different game in there, but they're very few. Right, the example I saw last time was we did the first expedition, and the archaeological labor captain was Japanese. Just by his name, you could say, yeah, he's probably Japanese. And it's like, oh, okay, it's fine. It's normal, it's okay, except he's already dead. But yes, the same person who's coming on Sunday will absolutely be coming on when I get into the late game for the whole Chinese flavored area. Because there are some very interesting things to be said there.
Yeah.
Correct. That is the only word, that is the best word to describe that game. Ow. I walked into the spikes, and apparently that hurt.
Literally inside the spike.
Ew. Huh, that doesn't break like I thought it would. Why does that not break like I thought it would? Wild. Thank you. Oh, if I'm stun locked, I will be very upset.
What are you supposed to?
I am not sure.
Maybe you need to throw
that over, potentially? I see arrows here, which usually says I need to shoot something.
Does it?
It didn't last time.
Because we had arrows on that statuette part and...
We can eat the sphere. The sphere went right over the top.
Yeah? Can you just go through?
Is there another way? There isn't another way that can shoot. Back up, back up, back up, back up.
Yep.
Taito, you should buy Ghost of Tsushima. Every time.
Did you play Ghost of Tsushima?
I played a little bit of it. It is, in its own way, historically extremely problematic, but it's far more fun as a game.
Oh yeah.
It's a very fun game.
Yes. It's like I believe it's the 19th century Japanese ultra-nationalistic notion of Bushido.
Yes.
And yet, it's fun as hell.
Exactly. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here, Peter. If I stand on the ledge, there's another weight. I don't see it. I see the one there, but I can't actually shoot that. Ow.
Maybe you are not supposed to go through this?
There hasn't been a lot of other options, though. And yeah, I do need to, because this is the last puzzle. The last thing I need to do before I can just move on to the next area.
Can you just go upwards?
Can I go over it? I might be able to go over it. Let's see. No, that's just a hole in the ceiling.
Okay.
That doesn't go anywhere. A whole chat full of extremely smart people, and here we are stuck on a dumb video game puzzle. There is... Oh, it's up there. It's... Okay, it is...
Oh,
I do need to shoot it. It's
yes.
It's just in its stupid place. Okay.
There is...
We
Is
are
it a
good.
ball? What is this?
I don't know.
There is a name in-game for this
No.
puzzle piece?
No.
No? Okay.
It's got a sun on it. That's about as... And it's got a, like... Oh. Maybe Latin style disc on it? It doesn't... That isn't Roman. It's strange. It's real weird.
Of course, this is related to a solar ritual.
Of course.
From old Scandinavians from Bronze Age.
Of course, definitely.
We were just ignorant until this time.
Oh boy. In the Roman engineered device mechanism.
Yes.
Yes. I don't know why they've got these, like, big disc things. I feel like they're using, like... They're saying, oh yeah, these tombs are Brittonic shrines, and therefore there's Latin culture, material culture in it.
It makes less sense.
But it was built by Romans. And also it's Isu. And also... medieval Christian. Also ghosts. Come on, give us the ghost.
Stranger, in life I was Cassivellaunus.
Oh
I
yes,
faced
shirtless
Gaius
Celts.
Caesar, called
God damn it, every
Julius.
time.
A clever man. We Britons had long fought each other, but the sea spewed forth Romans in their thousands. I rode to my enemies, the Atrebates, the Iceni, the Cantiaci, beseeching each to join together.
That pronunciation
United,
hurts my
we
soul.
awaited the legions and their cowardly turtle. Much
Cowardly
blood was
turtle.
spilled, battles won
Now,
and lost.
hold up.
Caesar declared victory and returned to Rome.
I mean, this is De Gallico
But
book
note
4.
well, stranger.
Yes. He's talking about the Gallic Wars.
I haven't read De Gallico in ages. Do I have a translation? Hang on a minute. I have a translation in here, I think.
Go grab it.
Perfect. I have a copy of it. I want to see if... Because I'm like, I don't remember there being a testudo used in the initial fight to... That's Gaul, that's Gaul. Book 5 is... the Idui. Sorry, this is just really bugging me. It doesn't matter. Point is, right, there are other formations besides the testudo. Also, the testudo is a dumb formation. Right.
Dumb? Why?
Well, in that it's severely unmobile. So if they're trying to use it to, you know, reach the enemy, then it's it's like, not a useful formation.
I mean, it's not useful when you have very mobile troops like the Parthians.
Exactly. It's also not useful, right?
The battle of Korea was a pretty like description of how testudo would not win every time.
Exactly.
But sorry.
Right. The other one that I'm thinking of with it is with the landing at De Bello Gallico.
Yes.
Right, they're landing in the water. If you try to form a testudo in the water, you drown. Because you're standing in the water. Right, so it's great as a defensive formation, it's just not good as a offensive formation. So it's like, I know it's classic and it's being mentioned because it's classic, but like why is that the thing that he's harping on about?
I think that it's one formation that the gross part of the players would recognize as something Roman.
Yeah, that's fair. That's almost exactly what it is that it's the testudo is and stereotypically Roman.
He didn't say testudo, he said like it's stupid turtle, something like that.
Yeah, testudo translates to turtle.
Yes. That's my point. And the player, when he reads this, it could be like, oh, he's talking about a Roman formation. It's just like reception.
Yep. It's just a very weird reception. Oh yes, we get another one of... Wait, I recognize these. Wait a minute.
The Cahedron.
Hang on, Chad, I'm gonna pull up the thing. Yay, Wikimedia Commons, thank you. Give me just a sec, because I'm gonna pull up an image here for y'all. But I'm pretty sure is what they are using. I'm gonna drown. I should get out of the water.
Yes.
Look to us. Again, I'm speaking nonsense.
Chat, this is the thing that was circulating as like someone tried to claim that D12 is a knitting needle or a knitting device. It's not. There's a whole bunch of these from Italy and like Cisalpine Gaul. It's not used for knitting at all. It's just an object of uncertain utility. From that, there's a whole bunch of. But right, that's 100% what this is. That's what they're using as their Isu artifacts. It's just here.
I can't see the chat. What are you referring to?
Let me
It's
let
the
me send it.
dodecahedron.
Let me send it direct to you. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Ah, okay. Yes. There was a bunch of them in Germany, in Germanic areas. Of course, France, I think.
Yeah, I think they're all over the place, right? I think I know of like some from Thracia, or some from Thrace, Cisalpine Gaul, in northern Italy, and Transalpine Gaul. I think those are the places I definitely remember them from.
Do we know what were they used to? What are the uses of this?
There's a couple of Ask Historians threads on it, but I don't know off the top of my head. Off the top of my head, my guess is that it's a symbolic artifact of some flavor. I mean, yeah, I could just fast travel out, but it's also like we're at the very end of the stream here, so we might as well walk out and then find a nice high vantage point to take a look at. Also, we got a new item, didn't we? What was the new item we got? Was
it's
it helmet?
From the same set?
Yeah. I think maybe it was... Yeah, here it is. The Fallen Hero breastplate.
Fallen Hero.
Wow, it's just a dumb breastplate. Look at how little that protects. Look at how little that protects you. That leaves your entire stomach wide open.
Protects a very important part of your body, your boobs.
Exactly. No, rat. It's not used as a knitting thing is the point. Right, that gets cycled a lot. Is that is a, was used for knitting as some sort of guide. It's not that. Because there is no evidence of knitted textiles in the period in which these were produced.
And they were found in places where legions were staying.
Yeah.
They could be related to something administrative.
There's a lot of things they could do.
Yeah, I really... I won't try to speculate because I really don't know.
Exactly. It is far enough outside my wheelhouse that I will not speculate because one of the goals of this channel is to value expertise, and it's not an area I'm an expert in, so stay vaguely within my lane. Awesome, thank you, Rat.
It's so nice to see you with this beautiful helmet and these candles on your side.
Oh, it's so good, isn't it? Anyway,
yes.
That wraps up everything we are going to do today. So, thank you, Pablo, for coming on.
Oh no, it was my pleasure. It was very good to be here. Thank you for your invitation, and thanks for the chat to be patient with me. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Awesome. Then, as I said earlier, chat, next stream is going to be Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And then on, we'll have another stream at Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We've got guests for both of those, so keep spreading the word. It is going to be a lovely, lovely, lovely stream for both of those. And if you like this, follow, spread the word, and consider subscribing to the channel. It helps. It is the way we can kind of keep getting people on. And otherwise, one more round of applause. Let's get some generous emote spam of our glorious medieval marginalia for Pablo.
Oh.
They're so good.
Send emotes. I need emotes.
They're all good. They are my favorite thing. The best one, I think, is... our one non-medieval one, because it's, what if the Virgin Mary had a Glock? It's from an Ethiopian Bible from the 19th century.
Okay.
And so the Virgin Mary has a Glock. So.
I'm going to check on your Twitch later.
Perfect.
Just to see this emote.
Perfect. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your night, and with these lovely collections of emotes, we will leave it here. Thank you all for coming, and I will